GG! The Mouthful Podcast is brought to you by GoodGame.rock, the most welcoming gaming community on Facebook. Visit us at www.goodgame.rocks.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes.
But you know, poor body.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes.
I didn't play anything. There you go. I play absolutely nothing. That's not true. I played something. Okay, what else did I play? Next game.
Like that now. It's like I played something.
Yeah, freaking vacation. I should be playing. Otherwise, what am I doing with my life? Going out,
I know.
exploring the world.
Being a member of society? No.
You know, that's something ridiculous. Come on, we gotta be playing something. I know what it is. I know the hiatus, but we'll discuss on the cast, bud.
All right. Well, with that, welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, a.k.a. Mad Dog, and that is David, a.k.a. Dream Twister. And this is the real episode 291 of GG's Mouthful Podcast.
Hold on, check it. I'm David. Yeah, he's Dream Twister.
Did I get it?
You're Mad Dog. Yeah, all checks
Episode
out.
291?
Yeah,
All
you
right.
got it. A well-deserved one for finally getting our shit straight.
Let's see how long that lasts. I mean, I wouldn't be too excited just yet. Because
before the rooster crows 3 times, we would have already restarted our podcast 4 times.
yeah, that's happened before, guys, and it's to say that it's frustrating is it's kind of an understatement.
Oh, it's a delight. We get to hang out more time. You know,
I mean,
awesome.
That's always great, but my God, the conversation does get stale.
Well, excuse me, Mr. I am too fancy and interesting of a life. You know, that I get bored with your.
That is so not what I meant. You know what? Oh my God, sir, how are you? How is your vacation going so far?
I'm hot, bro. It is supposed to be. It's supposed to be December. What the hell is this 70 shit degrees outside? Like, what the hell is that? We were doing fine.
December in Florida, bro. I mean, there's expectations there.
We were at 50s. We had a couple of nights that we were at 50s.
We're gonna be back at 50s. What is it now? Shit, let me see.
Right now we're
64 degrees. No.
60.
Wait a
64.
minute.
If it's 64,
59 degrees.
It's 59 right now.
Yes, 59.
Oh shit! Then hold on. Then the problem is me. Hold on, I need to fix that.
So it's user error.
Stand by. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh wait a minute. I'm not feeling any cold breeze.
Well,
sir,
I have nothing saying about breezes. I'm just saying that it's 59 degrees. 59 degrees is basically 60 degrees.
Check again. It must. You know what?
We're on different. My phone.
It must be the time zone where I'm at.
Or
maybe
it could be a hot flash, sir. I understand that it happens.
Oh, yes, true. That could be it. Also, you know, the fact that I've been cooped in this office, even though I'm on vacation, mind you, I still stay where I work. My wife was out visiting family, and I decided to stay. And I'll just be messing with the computer and doing as per usual, exactly. Doing absolutely nothing productive. I mean, this is the most productive thing that I'm doing right now with the podcast, and I should tell you
that says a lot as to
says a lot. Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow. Sir, any Christmas decorations, any of that stuff going on, or are we humbugging this year?
No. I haven't done the outside just yet. I intend to do that tomorrow, but I still don't know if I'm gonna get, if I'm not sure if I want to go like all out crazy, not that I did last year, but like last year I put like decorations on top of the house, and that was a pain,
Sure is,
to do.
isn't
So it's like, I might not. I might just leave it with the windows open. They can see the trees, from outside. The tree is there. The tree is up. I have it programmed to where at as soon as the sun goes down, tree goes up, turns on by itself. Alexa automatically plays holiday favorites, the playlist.
Oh my God, really?
And because I mean, it's the mood. It's my favorite time of the year. This is, and one of the reasons why I try to take almost the entire month if I can on vacation, because it's my favorite time of the year. It's
Nice.
the time I get to enjoy.
Nice.
So
It's
yeah,
Christmas. I know your anniversary's coming around.
Yeah.
I hear you, sir. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Well, part one of
haven't,
it happened yesterday, but we've decided to. It's too many expenses. So
Oh, okay.
we decided that anniversary part 2 is going to be the real anniversary, because that's the one where we all celebrated all of us. Not you. You took part on both of them. So call yourself blessed.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We don't have our things up yet, believe it or not. But we are putting up this now that it's the weekend, and we've made it here to the weekend. I will be making some space because things have just gotten crazy in the house. But we're gonna make some space. We're gonna put in the tree. So by Monday, we shall have a joyous Christmas tree.
I
Lit
want to
and
see
ready to
that.
go.
I want to see the Mad Dog's tree. And are you going natural?
No,
'Cause-
no.
no, 'cause
We have
I'm-
one
I-
that's we've had one that we use for no, not that long actually, because you got to update it after a while.
Right.
We have one that we've used now for probably 3-4 years.
Yeah, me too. Well, I bought mine the last year, but and to be fair, it was a little more than I wanted to spend on, but it was because he had the lights already like integrated on it.
Oh, those
So
are
it's
the
just a
best
matter
ones.
of just hooking them. Oh, dude, I just realized how much like that tree was up in 15-20 minutes. It was already done, all done. I was already just doing cleanup, porque también tiene
Tinsel.
not the tinsel, but it has the glitter,
Oh, glitter.
and that's just a
We all know
pain.
that gets into
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the bane of carpets everywhere. So
Sure. We don't have that, so we're gonna be ours is much, but we also been collecting like a bunch of what do you call them, ornaments, and we just been, so we always have a newer ornament and something to include, and so we have a collection of these, and we always include some of the standard ones that come in like a box of 12 and stuff like that. So ours does
yeah.
not take 15 minutes, which is usually why there's just no rush to get
Yeah,
to
true.
it. It's like, we'll get to it. Plus, space. We're looking for a spot.
Right.
Since my wife works out in the living room, and where her table is generally where the tree.
That's
would
where
be.
the tree would have gone.
Yeah, and so it's like, okay, well, we'll have to find. So I'm in the process now of boxing up my DVDs. And yes, they're going into storage. Not too far. It's just gonna go right into the fucking attic. But yeah, I don't watch them. I'm gonna keep some of my Blu-rays out because I have a few that I'm like, ooh, these are top notch. But yeah,
These are repeatable. These are seasonal. You need to leave, especially the Die Hard.
Well, yeah,
Blu-ray, you need to leave it out, because I mean,
wait, the quadrilogy. I never got the fifth one. I did get the I never got the fifth one when they go to Moscow.
When they go to
Because
Moscow.
somewhere along the line, the makers of Die Hard said we got to do what Police Academy did. We gotta
Yes.
go to Moscow.
Mission to Moscow. Yes.
I don't know why that was a thing. So no, that does the collection does not include that apparent abomination, because I never seen it, but I've heard
Mm.
many bad things. Particularly from one fan who's absolutely in love with Bruce Willis and will watch him in anything. And no, she
I
couldn't even
probably
take
have.
it.
I would probably have seen it and completely forgotten about it, because that's probably how
You haven't seen it. If you've seen
memorable.
that and you haven't seen something like this, I actually would be insulted that you have seen this. So we're just gonna go with the fact that you've never seen this.
All right, let's
leave
say
it at that.
let's be fair then. Let's I don't want to insult you.
I'm like,
Let's
of
say I've
all the
never seen
freaking
it.
movies to throw on
But even
for
if-
no damn reason, you
Even
can't-
if I had, like, who cares? It was Die Hard Mission to Moscow. Like, who gives a shit?
yeah,
That is the crystal skull of the Die Hard movie.
Pretty
So
much. No, I agree.
yes,
I concur.
and take it from someone that haven't seen any of the other Indiana Jones movies by choice.
Oh, that's a shame. It's by choice. Come on now. Those
Well,
are
at this
classics.
point, it's like it's not gonna do anything. At this point, it's too late
Oh,
already.
no. For now, you're just watching it for more
Oh.
studying. It's a study. So let me just see what the big hubbub was about, and then you make sure you judge it based on the 80s. You know what I mean? You can't look at a movie today and from the 80s and go, oh yeah.
I don't like archaeology. I don't like searching for lost treasures or
Well, the good thing
that's why
you
I
don't actually
despise
have to do it. He does it for you. It's
Dora the
wonderful.
Explorer. Huh?
I say you don't have to do it. He does it for you. I mean, it's wonderful.
No,
And you watch Dora the Explorer. What the hell?
I know. I didn't love it. I said, you know what?
Again,
for
you
it being
still
one of these
spent
type of movies,
2
sorry.
hours watching this.
2
So you don't have
hours.
to love it.
It was
all
an
right?
hour and a half,
Okay. Yeah,
maybe.
we hope at this point. Anyway, the point is, you put in time to see this, and it begs the question why you would do so if you
It's
were
because the
not,
movie's more recent, and as the old adage says, newer is better. Maybe it doesn't apply here
yes.
necessarily, but
NPH.
it's still
NPH, good stuff.
yes.
Thanks again so much for tuning in, guys. If this is your first time listening, please first go to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there. That, of course, takes you right to our Facebook group. And please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. What we normally do is we go into what we have been up to, move on into various news items, and then we finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic are AAA games toxic for the industry. Toxic. I think I said toxic, so I mean what the hell I was saying there. Toxic.
Listen,
Toxic for the industry.
every sentence that I say comes out like that, so you don't have to worry. If I can do a whole podcast of it sounding like that, you don't have to worry about just messing up a syllable.
It's a label.
That's
It's
a
a
label.
label.
Yeah.
Sir, this is one of your joints, so I'm gonna let you sort of give the the synopsis of what to expect later on in the show.
Okay, all right, fine. So it's basically the subject got me thinking of the following. I feel like the gaming industry has pretty much boxed itself into a couple of genres if it wants to make money, and which, let's face it, that's what all these companies want to do. And because of that, I feel like it's suffering. It's suffering lack of innovation, lack of creativity. We're not, companies are not taking risks in some of their games because they, at the end of the day, they have to serve the masses, and what their masses are consuming seems to be like the three primary genres that we'll talk about when we get to the topic.
Mhm.
But you guys probably know which ones we're talking about already.
You got
And
to
it's
know
kinda
one.
sad.
That's for sure. Yeah. The main
Yeah,
one. FPS is pretty much
Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted us to see have a discussion to see if because there might be positives to the fact that hey, but it is attracting a lot more people to the industry, so that which at the end it's what brings more cash.
It does, yeah.
But
An influx of cash. That's right.
yeah.
All right, so stay tuned for that later on in the show. Let's go ahead and start with what we always do, and that is what we have been up to. Mr. Santos, aka David. What you been
Yes, you can call me by one or the other. Don't call me Dream Twister because I will fuck you up. No.
No, just be sure it's dreamy. We're like
Dreamy. Oh God, dreamy.
You know you like it too.
Nah, it's not dreamy. But it is dreamy. What have I been up to, sir? It should surprise you. This week I started vacation midweek, and I have been playing absolutely nothing.
Wow.
Even though
Wow.
I recently acquired, as I talked about last podcast, a nice gaming monitor. I have played absolutely nothing on it.
It's a good thing you got the monitor, otherwise it'd be a waste.
Wasted, right? Yes. It's like it was a Black Friday kind of deal or Cyber Monday or whatever.
Okay. Well,
it was. To be fair, I actually ended up exchanging it for one that doesn't feel as much of a deal as the first one, but that's neither here nor there. The thing is, it's basically same specs, and I got it to start playing stuff, and I have been actually testing a bunch of games. Just I haven't sat down with any of them to really play for entertainment. I've been just conducting tests to see how games run in general, and some do well, some of them not as much. This week I said, well, let me sit down and really play a game that I've been meaning to play for a while, and that is Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yes.
That's going backwards. Backwards in the sense that, man, how long has that been now? It's at least 6 years, no?
No, not even. Shadow came out probably 3 years ago. 2017 probably. I could be wrong.
Oh, let me see. Go ahead. Yeah, you thought that.
But I played the first two Tomb Raider games, almost around the time they came out, and for some reason this one, like I wasn't in any particular rush to get it. Remember, this is the one that I think this is the one that the Xbox had the time exclusivity for a year, and then later on got released on PlayStation. The second one was.
The second one was. Yeah, this one was went out to everything at the same time.
Oh, okay,
Rise of the Tomb Raider was the one.
Rise Tomb Raider.
It was capitalizing off of the success of the first remake of the.
Right. True. Sir, 2018. Oh, there you go. So yeah, it was fairly.
It came out in a year. Here's the reason why, real quick, and not to sidetrack you, but it came out in a year that also brought us God of War and Spider-Man. So that's why I'm like, no, that had to be a while ago, right? So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know how much of this game I'm going to be playing, and I've only put probably like 2 hours. Wow. I don't know if I care enough to keep me interested. First of all, I should say that this game runs like a freaking dream on PC. It is probably one of the most optimized games that I've seen as far as pushing graphics, making everything look beautiful, and taking advantage of all the PC bells and whistles. Like obviously one of the things that got me to start playing this game was like, well, let me try it on this ultra wide monitor to see, how it look, and of course, it's like it fills the whole thing. Everything, all the options are there. It is. I wouldn't even call it a PC port because it doesn't feel ported from anything. It looks like it was just tailor made for the PC. So I got to give him props for that. Of course, Nix's was involved in that, so I will expect no less.
Yes, I expect them to do the same with all the PlayStation stuff. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
A PlayStation company, a Sony company, a Sony subsidiary, mind you. Now, so I was pleased to see that. But as far as the game itself, it just made me realize I don't really care for Lara Croft, or her, like this storyline that started with the not Rise, but whatever was the first one,
Tomb Raider.
I mean, the first of the reboot. I mean,
yeah, it was just called Tomb Raider. They have a name.
I feel like it had something. No,
no, because it was a reboot. It was meant to start it all over.
There you go, Tomb Raider, the reboot. Let's call it that.
Yeah, I like that.
And like the story was not really interested, and to be fair, part of it's me, because as I mentioned already, I am not big into like the archaeological finds and temples and maps with treasures and all that kind of junk. It's like Uncharted. The Uncharted series is a fantastic series for its action pieces, but I couldn't care less for the story beats or for what. Like, I don't even remember any of the story parts of those games at all. 4 is the one that is because it's the most recent one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like and I remember something about El Dorado because, of course, El Dorado.
That's the first one, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Every archaeological game or movie has to mention something El Dorado at some point because that seems to be a check mark they need to check. But again, for whoever that kind of stuff is interested, it'll have no problem. To me, like, it doesn't. Especially when it's supposed to be, it mixes those elements of treasures or what appears to be first about a treasure, but now it's about a world-ending event, and you must, prevent or the bad guy getting some sort of like power, hidden power or some shit like that. When the moment they start putting the supernatural elements, it's where they lost me, and unfortunately, Tomb Raider, was going that route. It did heavily from the very beginning. Yeah. Like it has an opening that should have gotten me excited for the game because it was very well made. I'll give them that, but it just, again, I just did not care. And that's the problem that I'm having right now. It's like I don't want to load the game again. Because another thing I noticed is it's still the same game that I played already on the previous two. Like, I don't know if it's gonna open other elements that, and keep in mind, we only put 2 hours, so I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're very early on a.
Yeah. But like, I have the guns, I have the bow, I have my way of escaping, the fights, of doing the melee attack, of doing the stealth attacks and all that, and everything looked very nice when I was doing it. I was just not caring for what was happening. So I was a little bored with it. So yeah, I don't have much to say on it other than I don't doubt that it's a decent game. Obviously, it had decent reviews when it came out. But I'm not sure if this is gonna, if I'm gonna load it again.
I mean, if you have no desire, I mean, I found it to be a little bit of a trudge when I played.
And the second one, I found Rise already being a trudge. It felt like a game that was overstating its welcome.
Yep, that's what you're gonna want to hear too. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't want to deter you from it, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, you're not gonna find anything different. She has a couple new moves. I remember she can hide into the mud now and stuff like that, which is pretty cool when it comes down to a take. But that's stealth, and you don't like stealth, so it's already going in the wrong direction for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not. That's why I was kind of surprised when I think you had mentioned it or you had texted me or something. I don't remember what it was, but I was just like, really? That's kind of a left field, but okay, have at it, bro. I don't want to in any way deter, because I'm like, you never know. It may
I might
have
end
a
up
flaw. Yeah, exactly.
it might end up grabbing me as at some point. I might end up finding in the story interesting. Like I said, it's not that the gameplay is bad. It's just that because we have done it already on the other games, and the story is not doing anything to me to want me to care to move forward. It's the reason why I'm probably stopping it. But it's not because it's a bad game or anything like that. I'm definitely not saying that. It's just stupid relationship with Jonah is getting on my nerve. Also, it's like the dude is the most. Oh man, it just, you know what it is.
So he's so much of it. I don't even know how to say it.
You know what it is. I think it's me projecting. It's me projecting of back in the day when that was pretty much me. It's like the guy that he will fucking part the Red Sea for the ladies that he was or in this case that I liked, and I was always seen as just a friend. A friend. I was always like smack down in the friend
straight
zone.
Up friend zone. Yeah, man.
My wife was a friend zone case. I was square in the middle of the friend zone. And I'm here to testify that now that it is possible to escape friend zoning. I still haven't figured out how the fuck did I manage it. I don't know what happened, because it certainly wasn't up to me. It suddenly happened. So I don't have a recipe to give you guys that are suffering.
It works
from the same
I just
case.
don't know how.
It's just gonna happen. I see that thing again. I don't know. So the thing is, it rubs me the wrong way, because I also feel like, Lara, you just taking advantage of the poor guy, like, so badly. He's literally risking his life for all your stupid shit, and you're not really giving him any. I hope this story turns at some point, because I am just very disappointed. I am very disappointed. Aside from Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I think I loaded, just because I was too curious. I loaded up the game Monster Boy.
Oh my goodness! Okay, all right.
And you remember Monster Boy?
I'm sure that looked wonderful on your screen. Yeah.
I was shocked, dude. Can you believe that they actually went in and they patched the PC version of it to support ultra widescreen?
Wow.
So the entire so this Monster Boy is it's for those who don't know, it's like almost a sequel to Wonder Boy in Monsterland, or Wonder Boy 3: The Dragon's Trap. I don't even know if it might be a spiritual successor for all we know, because it might not be the same guy. Anyway, the thing is,
but it's a side-scrolling platformer. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a side-scrolling platformer. It's very colorful. It is very fun. I quite like that game. And it has, its own whimsy and charm. And like I said, I love that the whole world is very nice and colorful. But one of the things I was not expecting at all was the fact that suddenly the entirety of the 32:9 screen was gonna be full of the platforming of the world.
That's awesome.
It's almost equal to finding out that you can play like Super Mario Bros. 3 like ultra wide. You can see or you can see the whole the whole Super Mario world,
The whole level, basically.
one. Look at it. Exactly. It was great. That one got me excited. I was like, okay, I like finding out surprises like this, because this was a game that I haven't played, but not because of anything negative. It's just like a quirky game that I just want to play when the time is right, and now it feels like, oh yeah, I should probably get into it, because this is awesome. This is great. But I know why is that I haven't wanted to play anything, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is because I am in anticipation mode. Anticipation mode. It's a game that is going to be released soon. That's the game that you want to play. That's the game that you can't wait to start playing.
You want it right now.
You want it right now.
Start anything else? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Gotcha. So in your case, I'm pretty sure it has to be Elden Rings. Yeah. It has to be Elden Ring. And to be fair, in my case also, but that game is far enough
it's
to
far
where
away now.
Yeah. It's not affecting me so much as this one. And this one, of course, is going to be Halo Infinite.
Yeah, which it comes out this Tuesday or Friday, the 8th, right?
Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. I think it's
maybe the
7th.
Yeah, maybe 7th. Okay.
Yeah. You can double check. Pull it up. Double check for me to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's usually Tuesday or a Friday.
And this is the campaign, obviously, because the other one.
This is the campaign, right. I have. Oh yeah, that should be another thing. I have been playing the multiplayer still, and enjoying it for what it is. I say for what it is because I still do not like the way that I cannot select the type of games that I want to play, and rather it just throws me into like whatever is that it wants me to play. So that is to say, all this time that I played the game, I've only played Slayer once.
And the Slayer is the one you want.
The Slayer is the one I want, or at least to get, because that's the classic deathmatch or team deathmatch.
Mm-hmm.
I like team deathmatch because deathmatch it could be annoying. But I can't because it doesn't let me make a selection for it. I'm always placed into a game of capture the flag. Thank goodness it's not throwing me into freaking oddball as much as it was before, because I freaking hate it. And they have increased the experience that you get from doing matches to where it's no longer as stingy. It's no longer as stingy as it used to be, to where you will complete a game and it'll only give you like 50 experience.
Oh, they have adjusted it. Okay.
Yeah, it's still not perfect. It's still not where it should be. And they know. They know. They have said that they're still working on it and they're still doing stuff. And why it is that they're doing this. First of all, is because it's a free to play game. And second is because they are tying all this upgrades and double experience doublers and all that shit in marketing deals that are really annoying. Like if I want to have double experience points, I have to buy Pop-Tarts, evidently.
Pop-Tarts? Like
yes.
The food?
Yes. The food. I have to buy food.
You actually have to physically buy Pop-Tarts.
Yes. Not in the game. I physically buy Pop-Tarts and get. Although, yeah, I think so. Because I don't think you can get it from the from the store. I haven't seen a coin doubler on the store itself.
Not yet, anyway. Yeah,
No,
until the
but,
deals are done.
yeah, exactly. So it has shit like that. It's just annoying. It's just dumb, and that's fine. I don't care. I'm not. That's not gonna make me go buy freaking Pop Tarts. I mean, I like Pop Tarts, and if it just so happened that they have chocolate and it has the the coin doubler, the experience doubler, I'll be okay. I'll get that, but I'm not gonna pick freaking grape over chocolate, a grape flavor over chocolate, just because the grape flavor one is the one that has the experience doubler. Because no, you can't buy
have a
me
great
Halo.
one. Avoid at all costs is all I have to say. Just avoid at all costs.
I was gonna say it's the strawberry one, but I do fucking like the
I
strawberry
love
ones.
them. Yeah, I was gonna say those are my favorites. Yeah.
They're the best. So yeah, the campaign primarily is what has me like very excited, and at the same time, I'm also managing my expectations, because it's not like I don't expect it to be game of the year.
Mhm.
I strongly feel that I played that game already.
You're talking about the
this
campaign.
year. Right. The campaign. But it's going to be very enjoyable, because I do like the lore and the world and the moments of a Halo campaign. Those special moments where they mix the right type of music with the right type of setting, and you pull off some awesome kills. That is what I'm looking forward when I go back.
So the date is actually the 8th. It's a Wednesday.
So it is a Wednesday when it comes. God
Yep.
damn it, that's
Weird,
that's
right? Yeah.
dumb. I thought it was. I mean, anyway, it's
Now I'm upset.
it's it's okay. It's one day. Listen, if I'm on vacation, there's few things are gonna are gonna upset me when it comes to that. I can wait an extra day. That's no problem. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. I didn't watch a movie, but I did watch a
I know what you watched.
animation.
Yeah, you finished off Arcane.
I did finish off Arcane, but I talked about that last week, though.
No, you didn't finish that. Remember, when did you call me to go, dude?
Let's talk about it.
That was not.
Shit. Then hold your horses. Then yes. Breaking news. I finished Arcane.
I think you were up to. You had just either at episode 6 or.
See, if it was yes, because I would have watched the last episode on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we recorded on Friday. So yes, I did finish Arcane. That's not the one that I was gonna talk about.
We'll get to that one though.
But we'll get to that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, this guys, listen to me. You have already heard Mad Dog, and you're thinking, yes, but he's probably a super fan. I need to hear from someone who is a jackass skeptic. Well, here I am. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. This series is perfect. You should fucking watch it, and that's it. No if and or buts. You need to watch it for all the. If you like animation and anime, I can't call this animation. I can't even call it because I don't feel it gives it justice. So I invented a new term.
Oh,
I call it art animation, because that's what it is. It is freaking art.
Oh, we're just
It
making up
is.
words now. Okay.
It is. Yes. Let's make shit up. Let's
That's
make
what
shit.
we're doing. Okay.
No. In all seriousness, no. The series is. At the same time, every time you get someone super hyped to watch something and they watch it, like it doesn't matter if it's the best thing ever, they're gonna
Mhm.
find the flaws on it. But if you were to ask me, I would say, oh yeah, Mad Dog was right. You should watch this. It's on Netflix. Everybody has fucking Netflix. So, and it is excellent. It is an excellent tale. It's even though it is, and we had this topic last week. Even though it is it's a property. It's a game property, right? That got adapted into a series, and those usually have their, their stigmas already. You have nothing to worry about with Arcane, League of Legends tale. Is that the
Yeah.
League of Legends, just League
yeah.
of Legends.
I think it's League of Legends, yeah.
Because the execution of it's done to the levels of a very high budget, very good film. Not that good films need to be high budget, but you could tell the production values on this one's like there's no skimping on it. Oh, because it's just an animation based on a game. Like who cares, right? No. Riot is made of money because League of Legends is extremely famous. And they're used. I mean, they're investing. They're investing, and this is fantastic because before this series, I had no interest to ever care about the lore of this universe. It was not on my radar. Now it has me looking at, for example, that RPG that came out recently.
Mm-hmm. It's on my list too.
It's on my list, yeah. Not into. I mean, League of Legends is a Dota game, so I'm not gonna play those type of games. That's not the type of games that I like. But I do want to consume more media that has to do with that world, because the world it's an interesting one. It's fantastic. Like the series does a very, very nice job of setting that into a place that like you care about, like you want to know more. Certainly I would love to know of novelizations or even more games that are not necessarily the Dota ones. I think this RPG has it came around very good time because of the good vibe.
Yeah,
that the series.
You know, the Ruin King. It's only $30. By the way,
yes. Yeah.
$30. Yeah.
This one I need to pick. And the series. I mean, you scored it a 5 out of 5. I am giving it the exact same score. It is absolutely a 5 out of 5. I mean, I bought the soundtrack and I mean it. Like I actually bought the soundtrack, even though I could always Spotify or anything like that. And I've been listening to it. I watched videos. I want to know about this characters. I fucking like everyone on this, and that's fair to say. It's like every character, whether it's good or bad or whatever.
I don't know about you, but I was not on. Like I had large suspects about Mel, which is the Medarda.
Right.
I was like,
careful
I felt
careful
she
with
was very Cersei. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no. In the end, no. I also came around to her too. I was like, okay.
I like everybody and whoever their actors, their voice actors were. did a stellar job with all of them. Even Heimendinger, which at first, the first time they showed it, I thought it was like, oh, okay, well, here we go. They need to put the Muppet there, but no, they need to have the Yoda or whatever. But no, it's freaking stellar. It is Arcane, League of Legends. It's an excellent series. It's a season. It's one season right now because it started recently. 9 episodes. Each episode is around 45 minute ish, and it's great because it gives time to flesh out the characters, the story. Nothing feels like it's being rushed, and it just gives me very good vibes, and it has such amazing, memorable moments that I'm legitimately worried for season two.
Yeah, because they set the bar ridiculously high.
Yeah,
I mean, almost insurmountable. I mean, you really think about it, because it's like, so you've already like outdid every other gaming adaptation that has been done beforehand, like significantly. You literally slapped the rest of them in the face and said, "Let me show you how this shit is done," and then did it so freaking well. And then now you got a season 2. You got to go into the season 2. So if you're going to go to season 2, and
you have to try to bring moments like the ones that you have that feel unique.
Yes.
And I don't know.
It's setting up for failure in many ways.
Well, it is setting up an interesting continuation. I'll just say that I'm not gonna spoil anything, obviously.
No, I'm not trying to spoil anything. I'm just saying it's like just the fact that if you would have closed it out here, although where they were going, I don't know how they would have closed it out. But if you would have closed it out here, it can stand on its own regardless.
Yeah, but then we would have wanted more. That's the thing.
We would have, and we would have gotten more. But if it doesn't hold up, at least we always have this. And I guess technically we will always have this anyway. So I guess that doesn't really freaking matter. But
yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, the
huge high bar.
They are, and there are. We understand that there's good gaming animation that Netflix has done already, and everybody talked about how well like Castlevania was made and all that. But what you have to understand, and this is a different level. I haven't watched the Castlevania once, but I have watched the animation style of it already, and from what I've gotten from the reviews of my peers, that they have what they've said, I don't think this compares. I don't think you can put them side by side.
I can tell you it doesn't. Man.
Yeah. So and this doesn't the level of animation done here, like you can't compare it.
There's some good characterization in Castlevania, but it doesn't hit all of them. You know what I'm saying? You said yourself, it's like there isn't a character that you see in this series that you don't in some way go, I want to know more. And you're concerned with that particular character. There isn't a character like that in it. And you go into Castlevania, okay, there's a few that are like that, but then you have your just evil characters for being evil. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, okay, well, I thought
it's funny because
thing, so I guess that makes sense. But
yeah, I remember that the first episode, because I didn't know what I was expecting out of it, and I noticed the pace was significantly slower than your standard animations, and I don't mean slower in the sense that this is boring, but it's more like things are happening, of course, but you didn't understand like why. How can I say this without it sounding bad? It's like, how animation tends to have a pace that is fast paced.
Yeah.
Yeah, animation tends to, because it needs to, go to it. They usually have an hour, and they need to make sure they get resolved in half an hour if possible, or leaves you in a decent cliffhanger for you to want to come back to the next one. Well, this one, nothing. It never feels like that. Like, you watch an episode of this, and it's surprising what 50 more minutes could do, or what they're able to accomplish with the time. Because it always feels well spent, on everything. Nothing here felt like filler. So anyway, they nailed season 1, 5 out of 5 without a doubt. You guys gotta watch this if you haven't already. This is the perfect time to do so, to jump in. The soundtrack of this is amazing. It is stellar. It is stellar. And then there was another type of animation that I also watched, which was Batman: The Long Halloween.
Okay.
Chapter book 1 and 2.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Nice little surprise. I like it. And I'm a little concerned now because you watched it after Arcane and the bar's already been set. No, just
yes. No, you are pretty much nailing it. All the, like, I sat down with my wife, and after watching an untold amount of episodes of Big Bang Theory, we just we got presented with the opportunity to watch. It's like, okay, let's see it, because Analo told me about it. It sounds like an interesting story. You have told me that you liked it, or at least the comics. And I
like the animation. The animation stood pretty close to what and it still had surprises for those who knew the comics. So.
Oh, okay, all right. So I'm not gonna delve too much into it. I'm gonna say that overall I liked it, and so did my wife. Surprisingly, I say surprisingly because on the first one, the first. So there's only 2 chapters. So part 1, she was falling asleep. But that might have been also because of the time it was when we were watching it. So I'm not gonna say that, because it's not boring.
It's a detective story, though. I did say that. It's not your normal Batman. Yeah.
And this is and my wife made this comment, and I have to agree. Like, this feels like a very vulnerable Batman in the sense of he doesn't feel like he's the world's greatest detective, because at one point he feels like he's just figuring it out that not only he needs to be the vigilante, but he also needs to play the role of a detective, basically.
That's what I loved about it. I mean, it's one of those things where, and we don't have to stay on it because I know I already talked about it before, but the reason I loved it is because of that. So I always felt like year 1 was his acceptance of being the vigilante, and first off, acceptance that that's what he has to do, and then implementing how he's going to do it. And in year 2, which is what this story takes place technically in year 2 of his life as Batman, is his realization of that, and realizing, this is going to take more than just brawn. It needs brain. And I love that. I love that about it. The storyline, just the comic book in general, but also that they didn't change that. They said, no, he's gonna make mistakes because he's still not the world's greatest detective, which is what frustrated me about. Not to bring up Batman vs Superman again, but what frustrated me about that movie was like he was way past being the world's greatest detective, and for whatever reason kept falling for shit. You know what I mean? So I was like, anyway, go ahead, sir.
Well, you just said it all. So you put a nice cap on that, a nice feather on that cap, because it is not expecting what type of Batman I was going to receive. Seeing this one where he will make kind of obvious jumps to logics that are like, are you sure that I mean, doesn't that sound like like, I think at one point he says that usually the easiest lead is the right one or some shit like that. And I was like, no, you got it all wrong. what are you just graduated from Bat Academy? Like, what the hell? Why are you falling into this? Like, come on, man. And we kept the whole thing was this investigating this killings that were happening that just happened to be happening on every particular holiday. They started at Halloween and continued throughout, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine. I probably skipped whatever was September, Labor Day. Who cares? And there was the killings were this mafia members of this particular mafia family that
Falcone.
Yes,
The
yes,
Falcone family, yeah.
The Falcone family. And I gotta say that the whole mystery thing it had me interested, because even I fell for the, well, obviously it has to be. But then it's like, you also did. That's why you're laughing. So it was like, oh man, you cannot be.
Yeah. But remember, the comic book takes a completely different turn.
Okay.
On that thing. So
all right,
I'll just leave that out. Again,
that's cool. That's cool. But I enjoyed the resolution. We at the very end we enjoyed the resolution, and it was actually it was not bad. It was not bad. And the only problem that it had was that I watched this, right after, on the same week that I finished watching Arcane.
Yeah.
And it is, again, it is
thing, yeah.
Yeah, it is comparing, apples to atomic bomb.
Well said.
To
Well said.
plutonium, to the discovery of plutonium. There you go. So yeah, I'm gonna say this one a 3.5. I think I liked it. The only thing with the Batman animations, a lot of people freaking love them. I've never been a super fan of the super like angular looks of the Western animation, but
this is a very different one that they haven't like. This is like they've been doing. If you really look back to the animated series in the 90s and all that stuff. They've been using the same template.
No. This Batman didn't have a literal square jaw. They don't. It was not. Yeah. It was like there's angular looks and shapes and stuff like that, and then there is like having a shoebox for a jaw, and that's not what happened here. So yeah, no, I liked it. I liked it overall.
Good. 3.5. That's a really good on our scale. That's good.
Yeah. I would say, if you guys haven't watched it, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, it's on. If you have HBO Max, it's on HBO Max.
It is on HBO Max. You're already done with. Actually, if you haven't gone into Arcane but you're curious about it, I'll suggest you tackle Batman. It's only 2 episodes. They're an hour and a half long, so they're like 2 movies basically. But it's good, and that way you can set your expectations.
Well said, sir. Well said. Well, for me, sir, I guess I will. No, I'm gonna jump. No, we're gonna start with the movies. So we're already here. We're gonna start with the movies. I've only seen 2, so I'll get the first one out of the way, and that is a movie called The Dressmaker. This is, yes, if you haven't already guessed by the name, this is a choice for my wife. I had.
Is your wife? Yes.
My choice. But that said, pretty legit film. It stars Kate Winslet and Liam Hemsworth, which is Chris Hemsworth's brother. And if you don't know who Chris Hemsworth is, that is Thor. This is Thor's brother, and he looks just like him, for the record.
Loki?
No, not that brother.
I know.
So Anyway, so it takes place in the 60s. It's a woman who's coming back from Paris, and she's a dressmaker, a very fancy dressmaker, and returns to her small rural hometown in Australia, which, let me tell you, that town just wasn't ready for the type of dresses she was making. Anyway, I didn't know what it was about. I don't know anything about this, and it turns out to be a revenge film that I didn't see coming.
Wow.
And I don't think even my wife saw it coming. And I don't mean revenge in the sense that she's suddenly freaking John Wick or anything like that. No. But
that would be awesome.
That would be pretty awesome. But it is a revenge film, and yes, there are stakes of that magnitude. And so she comes back, sees her mom. Her mom is she's suffering from like dementia or something. She doesn't even know. And then she doesn't remember why she ended up leaving or what happened to her. And then little by little, it fills in the blanks because she feels that she's cursed. And that's why she came back. She's like, I need to find out why the hell I feel like my life is cursed. And she was in fucking Paris. And now this is like literally some, boonies old town, you know what I mean? With like a total of maybe 25, 30 people, you know what I mean?
Wow.
So it's my only complaint I have about it is, and it's not really a complaint. It really is more of an observation, if you will, but there are some dark turning moments, like, because it has lighthearted, comedic moments. So I was like, oh, okay, so this is okay. I can deal with this. It's kind of cool, whatever. When it gets dark, dude, I was just like, and not dark in the sense of, again, not John Wick or like that, but it just, things happen, and I'm just like, no, that wouldn't happen, right? No. And it's just like, it just turns the story on his head. You know? Yeah, it's just, it turns the story on its head for a brief moment. And so that could be a little jarring, to say the least. It could be a little jarring when you watch it because you just don't see it coming. And it's just, I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything, and not that you'll ever see it anyway, but it's worth the shock value. And again, not that type of shock, but just the what? No, this can't be right. You know what I mean? It's just like, anyway, really cool story. No, nothing like that. It's a really cool story. It is listed as a comedy drama, but dear Lord, when that drama hits, bro, it's like, whoa, didn't see that shit coming at all. It is, it's hurtful. Honestly, is all I can say. It's hurtful. Anyway, Dressmaker, really cool one. I'll easily give that one. I'll give that one a 3.5. Okay, because it
3.5.
Yeah, it definitely did more than I thought it was going to do, and I enjoyed it. Then I saw, finally, James Bond, No Time to Die.
Oh, yes. I haven't watched that one, and I'm a fan of James Bond.
As am I. This definitely asked the question, though. We
needed another
one. Are we? Well, yeah, I guess in some ways it does ask that question, but so I guess I'm going to start out. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm going to start out with what I did enjoy, and that is I enjoyed that it really went James Bond like, right? Because if you go in through some of the other Daniel Craig's James Bonds, it's particularly Casino Royale, they're gritty. And it's like, oh, this is not your normal James Bond. This is a serious dude, and things are serious, and we got to be serious about this. And yeah, you know what I mean. And then Quantum of Solace came out, and that one, while this remains serious, the plot was really weird. And then you have Skyfall, which is probably that behind Casino Royale is probably Skyfall's my favorite.
Skyfall, yeah.
And it was excellent. Yeah, excellent. And then you have Spectre, which honestly, I don't recall. I've seen it, but I don't recall much about it. That's not a good thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I remember the other three, excuse me, pretty well. And for whatever reason, and the first nitpick I have is you don't need it, but you kind of need to know a little bit about Spectre, because it literally feels like it picks up right off behind it.
Oh, okay.
And it's so it stars some of the characters. from before. Obviously, the normal M and everything else. But you do have Leia Sado, which is also known as Fragile, if you remember Fragile. She was in the last one, and she is in this one, and
Mm.
there's a connection, and it's just like, but what? Yeah, I don't recall. I don't know what's going on here. The intro sequence is really, really good, really, really action packed. Again, it gets into a lot of the Bond stuff, right? The cars that have those weird things, and some.
Oh, I was just about to ask. So is it gadget heavy?
It's
Because
not gadget heavy,
okay,
but it does use it. So the problem I feel that this movie has, and yes, I still enjoyed it, but it does have issues. One particular one, which I will not spoil. Once you watch it, I can't wait for you to I already know what you're going to text me. I already know what you're going to text me the moment you see it in the film or it gets mentioned.
that's
The
awesome.
moment you do it, I'm just going to be like, I'm going to expect the text, and it's just going to be that one word, and I'm like, yep, that's exactly what I was talking about. You know what I mean? But
Good.
it is a plot device that I just never thought I'd see in a James Bond film. The stakes are
Zombies.
the stakes are much bigger here.
Okay.
There's the world to consider now, as opposed to some of the other ones. Really, if you think about it,
Uh,
part one was no stakes. I mean, there were
uh,
stakes, but nothing worldwide stakes, right? Part two, I think it was just like some South American country that was going to probably be nothing big there. No offense to South America, but I'm just saying it's not world heavy. Skyfall,
mm.
I remember the main things. Spectre, again, very little I remember. So this one really brings the, hey, we need to fix this because si no, todo se va a joder. You know what I mean? So that is, so I'm like, okay, I can welcome that. The villain was really thin, bro, and not just because he's skinny. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Just really his it was just like I thought he had an interesting reason, and then
uh,
it just fell apart. And then after a while, I was like, so why do we want to do this? I don't understand. I mean, you give me a good reason why. You know what I mean?
uh,
you know,
is
uh,
it does it is it so he basically became a mustachio villain at the end
oh,
with
played by, and this is not a spoiler because it's in the trailer. Played by Remy Malek. Um, he and I like Rami Malek, the actor,
Mhm.
and I just wasn't sure when I knew that he was going to be playing this. I was like, really, a Bond villain? That's not within normally his wheelhouse.
Mm.
And no, turns out it's not. You know what I mean?
Turns
Yeah, turns out
it's
it's not.
not.
But again, when they do have action sequence, they're very good. Anna de Armas is in it, and dear Lord, do I love her even more every time. But Anna de Armas is in it. She's not in it as much as I thought she would be in, considering the trailers and the posters and everything. I was like, oh, so she's
Ah,
gonna be okay, cool. You remember Anna de Armas? She was in Knives Out with him with
yeah.
Daniel Craig. So I was like, oh, she's in. No, that's not the case either. So I'm like, what? Oh,
Ah.
mind you, the movie is 2 hours and 43 minutes long. So on top of
Oh,
all that, it's a little
yikes.
bloated. You know what
Oh, this is not very well.
I mean? So there's that. It's a shame because it really started off, I would say, like the first half of the film was like, oh, okay, I like, and then the second half really went back into it went into the some of the stuff that you want, but some of the
Uh,
other stuff where it's like, oh, this is why this didn't work back in the day when it's, the crazy villains of the Goldfinger days. It's like I
uh,
mean, it makes no, it doesn't make sense. I was like, I almost get what they're trying to do.
uh,
But overall, I still enjoyed it. I enjoy James Bond films,
yeah.
and I would say that I like Daniel Craig. I think he's probably I would say he's probably the best James Bond. I like Pierce Brosnan probably next.
Right?
Um,
Yeah, I was,
Sean
yeah.
Connery after that, even though Sean Connery was definitely back in the misogynistic James Bond days. But and then Roger Moore and Timothy Dalton was the one that I just never really cared for. And
I
and
like Timothy Dalton.
I don't he was always hurt. You know, it's like, and don't get me wrong.
You should be when you're Bond.
No, but that's the thing. You shouldn't be, because Bond is. So I always felt like if you think of Bond as a superhero, what would his power be? It's not his crack shot, right? Because anybody could do that. It's his luck. It's his luck. It's the fact that his luck carries him through.
Yeah, but he gave stakes to the character that other Bond, and I felt like Daniel Craig in a way also did.
Yes, but when he did, it was because it was an insurmountable moment. You know what I mean? Like, because when it was anything else, he was on the ball. You know, he was precise, swift, and yeah, I mean, but yeah, Timothy Dalton spent a lot of his films with a bloody face, and I was just like, dear Lord, man, wipe yourself off, will you? Jeez, you're supposed to be James Bond. You know, again, obviously, there's director, choices and stuff like that. So I'm not criticizing it, but it always stood out to me. It's the one thing I remember. Like, man, why is it? Se ve como siempre, you know, he's está tirado. You know, they just threw him around, and he's just like, he's standing up, he's dusting himself off with his bloody nose, and I'm just like, yeah, that's not my James Bond, man. Sorry, that's not my James Bond.
It's the danger. I know what you're saying, but I still believe that gives it a level of believability that I also appreciated from the Daniel Craig.
From the Daniel Craig,
less gadgetry James Bond's one, although Pierce Brosnan, it's my favorite James Bond.
Oh, okay, nice, yeah. I think this one fleshes out a more the character James Bond here, and I think in essence what they tried to do with, because this was a reboot, even though it made no sense that the same M from Pierce Brosnan's era ended up being the M at the beginning of Daniel Craig's era.
True,
but
exactly.
We're not going to go into that.
No.
But this was a reboot of the character, and he was a young 007 when in Casino Royale.
Right.
And so, but if it really fleshes out it feels like this is an overarching story that they've been trying to tell.
Yeah.
And because there's constant, pullbacks from the prior ones. So I'm like, oh, okay. Not that they weren't in the other ones, but for the most part, each new film was its new thing. Even if you have the same James Bond. And Pierce Brosnan, yes, he was excellent at it, but they were all disconnected, right? GoldenEye, which I think is his best, very disconnected from A Time to Kill, very disconnected from not A Time to Kill.
Living Daylight. I mean,
no, that was Dalton. The World's Not Enough, yeah, and all that. And don't give me a Christmas. I couldn't stand that character, but anyway, Christmas Jones. I don't know, forget that. Anyway, so overall, I enjoyed it. I think it has some of the better special effects and some of the cooler sequences, but some of the moments just felt a little flat. I understood where they were going for, and I'm very curious to see what you think on it. But I will have
I'll definitely watch it.
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah. And it's especially if you're a James Bond fan. And honestly, the only reason I'm giving this score is because I'm a James Bond fan. If I was not, I would be lower, to be fair. I enjoy the series, and I enjoy Daniel Craig, but I'm gonna give it a 3.5. A 3.5 was I'm leaving it at really good, because it did have some very good moments. Man, you're gonna be scratching your head on a lot of things, but I just said, you know what? It's James Bond. Let's just go. let's just go. 2 hours and 43 minutes. Somewhere along the line, they're gonna fucking explain it, right? Well, let's just go. Let's get there. Yeah. So that's my take on it, and I still recommend it. Like I said, if you do like that particular series of movies.
I like the Nick Craig James Bonds and
I want to watch them all. I feel like I need to watch all, because I feel like these they're 5 in the Daniel Craig now, and I feel like I need to watch them all because I feel like they're interconnected somehow, and I'm just missing it because I've watched them so separated. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to know.
I didn't realize how old they were, because Casino Royale, I was thinking that, that's from like the 2010s. No, that's in 2006.
Like 06. There you go. Yeah. And this one, technically, believe it or not, was originally, I think it was supposed to Daniel Boyle was the director, and it was supposed to come out in 2019. And then it got switched around whenever, and it was supposed to come out April 2020.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
that was dead smack in the middle of COVID, hitting America,
Mm,
and it got pushed back, and here we are. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's literally an 18, almost 2 year old uh film. You know what I
yeah.
mean? That's just been sitting waiting to come out. And
Yeah.
to I
It's
hope you
a
enjoy. First off, I hope you enjoy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Uh,
understand this is the. I mean, if this will be spoilery, just say no comment, or if you feel like it's something that I should experience. It's a simple question. It's not gonna be into too much spoilers either. It's just I heard this was the last of the Daniel Craig
yeah.
Bond.
That's already been out there. That's on the news. He's no
Okay,
longer
okay,
doing. That's why they're talking about
gotcha.
getting Idris Elba, as which I'm cool with, by the way.
Oh, dude, that'll be
Um,
awesome.
there's a few names. The dude who what's his name? He plays Superman. What's his name? Um,
Oh, freaking Witcher.
yeah,
No,
The Witcher. Yeah, yeah. That would be my problem. I was like, no, you can't do it because
because
you're
now
tied up with a bunch of other shit.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
his name has popped up because he's also British.
yeah.
There's a few names out there. I don't know who it would be, but yeah, at the soon as this one was already wrapped, it was already
Mm,
said that this was his last one, and you can tell, you know what I mean. You can
yeah,
tell that Daniel Craig, he still has his physique, but he's older. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And
yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's that time. It's that time. Um, Anyway, so I have been playing a game, and I'm almost actually finished with. At least I think so, based on the where I feel like I'm in the story, and that is
Oh,
Resident Evil Village. Yes,
oh, wow! That came out of
yes,
nowhere.
yes.
Ooh, talk to me,
Um,
because I haven't even started it. I even forgot
the
that I haven't.
Yeah, you never even played 7, so I even know what. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter.
It was
Um,
$30 when it was new. When that game came out, like 3 weeks, or maybe a month, let's say, it was already $30 on Amazon. I was like, at this price, I should grab it.
oh, okay, okay. No, Resident Evil Village so far, I am enjoying it. I really I understand a lot of people's complaints. This is a direct continuation of Resident Evil 7, which stars
Complaints.
yeah, there's been complaints about the character, and I mean, sure, the Resident Evil fans are gonna love it, and there are many of them for the record. But
Mm,
there are some complaints with, and I'll lay some of them out here real quick. Ethan Winters is kind of a bubble, you know what I mean? It's just like I don't understand his reactions and to stuff. Is just like this seems almost like RE1 levels of weird, of just, this doesn't seem like a reaction that you would have. And then other times he
no.
has like exactly the reaction. So it's just like I don't understand. But anyway, this is in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. And I think the trailers were played even doing E3 or fake E3, whatever the case may be. But basically, his child gets kidnapped, and he wakes up in a village. Somewhere along the line, for some reason, Chris Fairfield's involved. You get to see him for a moment. I still don't know, and I feel like I am easily 3/4 of the way through. So I don't
If
know
you feel
how
like
this is gonna
you're
wrap up.
almost, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how this is gonna wrap up. But anyway, you wake up in this village. Village is really, really what the world is awesome. Eh? The way it looks, the
Yeah,
way it breathes, the sun hits sometimes, it's snowing other times. It just looks and feels good. I'm playing this on
yeah,
PlayStation 5, which has the PlayStation 5 upgrade, so it's at 60. It's running beautifully. The only time that I feel like there's some hitches is because you get in an elevator and it has to load whatever, and as you're turning around, there's a little hit. Can like, oh god, guys, you couldn't fix this shit. But anyway, that's beside the point. It's very minimal. Nothing nothing game breaking. The action is very good. I don't like how Ethan runs. He's doing like a slow jog is really all I can call it because it's the most and it's the most annoying thing because everything else moves significantly faster than that. You know, and it's like, oh, that's frustrating, but that's just a gameplay choice I guess they made. Um, you no longer have to you still put some stuff together for bullets and stuff like that, but it makes more sense now how you do it. It's from I don't say scraps, from parts and stuff that you find around. And so you have your inventory that you can put together. You do have a case very similar to Resident Evil 4, where you have to fit stuff in. The Duke, which is awesome, is the guy you buy supplies from for, and he helps upgrade your whatever. He's a very oversized character that
He's not
pops up in
buying it.
the most random locations, very similar to the Resident Evil guy, 4 guy. You know,
There
what did
he'll
he
be.
say? Yeah.
I'm
What you
buying
buying?
items.
What you selling? Yeah, that guy. And so anyway, so you wake up his village, and you find out that there's 4 main people that you know that you have to whatever, and they're all praising mother Miranda, sister Miranda, I don't know, something like that.
Mhm.
And so that's what you're dealing with essentially. And my next complaint is that it's not scary. You know, it's like it is
Oh.
not. And Resident Evil 7 was damn near terrifying at some points. And this
But if it was it's a scary, it's a scary the monsters in the closet type thing. Is it just like jump scares? Because that's not
No, and
scary.
in Resident Evil
That's just
7
dumb.
though, Resident Evil 7
No?
was
Okay.
the world was there, and yes, in Resident Evil 7 you had one of the characters who would follow you through the to the thing, and there was no stopping them, very similar to Mr. X. That's the thing
Oh
now.
yay, my
That
favorite
that's
character
the
on the Resident Evil
yeah,
series.
that's the thing now. And I feel like everyone ever since 7, I feel like everyone, and that happens here as well, in certain locations. And again, but just like Mr. X, he doesn't fucking run. So if
What
you're
a
it's just moving
dumb
in one
gameplay.
direction, then it's just, and you always find a room that you could just go into. And when you get there, they magically go, "Oh, I guess he's gone," and then turn around and walk away. You know, it's like, okay,
What a
uh,
dumb gameplay mechanic. It's
yeah, yeah,
the invincible thing they you cannot be, well, you have no choice but to run from until you get to the safe spot, and then they don't follow you. Like,
yeah.
I'm disappointed to hear that they're still
So far,
doing that
so
shit.
far, it has only been very early on with certain characters. And to be fair, some of the rooms have elements that they don't like, which is why they don't go in there.
Mm.
That doesn't explain the save room, but at least most of the time you can lose them in certain rooms, because
Mhm.
of thing that's happening in the room. They can or don't want to be in there. Anyway, but it's, well, like I said, it's not even that was not scary. I remember seeing a meme of Lady Dimitrescu
Uh,
chasing you through the house, and of course you see the guy going, "Oh, come get me, come get me." You know, it's like that's kind of the thing. We're just like, well, you can't help. First off, because you're looking forward all the time, you're literally looking right at her chest the whole time. It's like, dear Lord, guys, you really went a little bit overboard here. Um,
uh,
so that part is not scary. Even if
okay,
you
I'm
get
back on
caught
board.
for some reason, it's not even scary. But um overall, I think that's the main complaint that I have. That it's just, I don't find any part of it. Um there are some frustrating moments, sure.
Mhm.
Which any of these games, and they're meant to be that way because it's still survival no matter what. That
Right.
said, I also don't have a shortage of bullets. I mean, my case is
Oh.
stock full. You know what I mean? And I've
Oh.
gone through several like fights, and I'm just like, at some point, I'm like, I'm literally dropping boxes of bullets so I can pick up an item, because I'm like, I have. So again, that takes away from the fear factor, right? Because it's supposed to be survival horror, and
Yeah,
I'm
there's
like,
no scarcity.
yeah, and if there is either that, or I'm playing really well, and I can tell you right now,
Mm. Or
no,
you're
I'm not
playing
playing
on
that.
baby mode.
I am not. I'm playing on regular. Although,
Okay.
or maybe regular is baby mode, but there was an easy mode. So who knows? But the point is, um, It is, yeah. That's my main one only complaint. Other than that, though, I'm enjoying it a lot. There are moments that you have multiple people coming your way, and I was just like
Mm.
that. But that also now adds to a little bit of a difficulty spike because it's like, oh shit, I didn't know I was going to be dealing with this many fools, and I'm just strolling, right? I'm just because I mean it doesn't matter because you just fucking run fast anyway. So either running or not, you're still strolling. So I'm still strolling to the next switch to open up a door or something like that, and are coming these lichens, which yes, now the world of Resident Evil has lichens and
Oh,
vampires apparently. Um,
oh,
sure, why not, right? I
sure.
mean, yeah,
Let's.
yeah.
What
What's
the hell?
what the hell? Yeah, at this point,
They're
zombies are
the
completely
zombies
played out
already.
anyway. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, so but yeah, I do like there's some main villains that you and the funny thing is you see the main villains very early on in the game and you just know, oh, these are the folks. And then when
Mm.
you get released into the village and you can see where you need to go next. It's almost like you gotta there are these four people you gotta take so you can finally meet the last one. That's how I'm assuming
Uh,
it is because that's how it's been playing so far. You know what I mean?
uh,
And so
so it's Mega Man.
basically, one of them has a very cool um puzzle house where there's no fighting involved, which is cool, but it's a puzzle you have to kind of figure out and or die in doing so. I was like, oh, that's cool. I
Oh
like that.
wow.
You know, so it doesn't always have to be the monster battle or whatever, and so that was like stuff like that I can always appreciate. So they did do that, and but yeah, based on those folks that I feel I have to take out, I'm probably 3/4 of the way. So
Mm. And
it is
liking it and enjoying it.
and enjoying it.
Okay,
But yeah,
so it's
it's
projecting good.
the story. No clue even how it connects to. I mean, I know how it connects to Resident Evil 7 because obviously it has Ethan and the wife and everything. It was like, okay, well, I get it. I see how that connects. How it connects to the other Resident Evil world, no clue.
Who knows?
Yeah, and frankly, it may have been already in a document that I read real quick and said, yeah, I don't care. I don't even care
Who
anymore.
cares?
Who cares? Yeah, who cares? But yeah, so that's the one I've been playing. I'm gonna probably get back into that soon. I don't know if there feel like there was some DLC, but I haven't seen anything yet. But I may jump into because again, it's fun. I know there's one that's like a horde mode type of thing, which I don't really care for horde modes,
Mm.
but yeah, that's all I've been doing. More to come in the news since we're recording. Are we recording? Yeah, I think we're recording.
Yeah,
We are
yeah,
recording.
yeah,
Well, shit, guys, we are back.
So you guys know that already. Evidently.
Yeah. I forgot that I hit record at some point. I was like, wait, we had a little technical issue here, and I had to throw you to the green room. But so yeah, guys, we are back, and it is time to first, real quick, jump into a segment here, and that is the Mouthfuls Games Radar. We got a couple titles coming out this
Ooh.
upcoming week. Obviously, we'll get the Juggernaut out of the way, and that is, of course, the Halo Infinite campaign, which will be out on December 8th. I'm not even sure if I corrected that when we were looking for it earlier, but December 8th on PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S. That's it. And then, of course, we also have an update for Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker coming out on December 7th to PC, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. And then this one is a smaller title, but I love it because it just looks so wonderful. And frankly, considering our hot topic, this is the one you guys should go for. And that is called White Shadows, coming out on December 7th to PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. Yes, next gen, no prior gen, guys. And so it is. Yeah, it's that time. It's about time. It's about time.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, I would say. Yes, exactly.
I agree. I get into the mood after a while. It's still a little early. I'll still have the turkey hangover, if you will.
Oh no,
You know what I mean?
you're one of those. No, I mean it's already the end of October. I'm one of those.
I was
Sorry,
gonna say you're one of those. Yeah.
I am one of those. No,
in
granted,
this case, I feel like I am the normie, my friend, and you are the extravagant. Oh, I
No.
need tinsels, and I need coquito, and I need
I don't put.
you know.
There's always time for coquito. But no, I don't put trees or anything, or anything like that at the beginning of November. But I'm saying I'm already starting to feel festive. Is what I'm trying to say.
I got
And
you.
then
The cool air does it too. I like it.
the cool egg. That's
Yeah, I do.
it. And as you know, I'm a huge fan of the cold air. So-
Oh, wait.
some might say a fanboy.
Let's take a temperature check here. We have significantly dropped 3 degrees, sir. It's 56 now.
56 right now.
56
Oh,
now.
now you see,
Yeah.
I am a fan. You know why? Because I don't need a fan. That's why.
Yeah,
There
your
you
PC can run and you don't have to worry about the room melting.
Oh, my PC is my heater. Yeah, no, my heater. That's my room heater. Don't worry.
All right, guys. Let's move on into our useless news that you can use. To be fair, it's that time of year, guys. There's very little news going on. So
No.
little things here and there. I do want to start with a confirmation. And that is, of course, last week we spoke of December's PlayStation Plus games. They were rumored at the time. This has been officially confirmed. And it is exactly the titles that we mentioned. We have Godfall. We have, dear Lord, why is this not listed correctly? Hold on, give me a second here. Why is this? Yeah, Godfall, the Challenger Edition, Mortal Shell, the PlayStation 4 Edition, and Lego DC Supervillains, also the PlayStation 4 Edition. So, so just want to throw it out there. It has been confirmed, even though it was rumored last week. So,
Not a lot of people, or a lot of people not happy with Godfall, the whatever edition.
the Challenger Edition.
The challenge, yes. Not a lot of people, because that ends up being, you're not really giving anybody a freebie in that case. You're calling it a freebie. That I mean, it's almost like a trial of that game. You know what you're getting there, of a game that also not super hot, but that's okay because we're still getting Mortal Shell at least. So.
Well, it's funny you
Even
mentioned that. It
so.
looks like we have an update here as of today. PlayStation Plus Godfall Challenger Edition, not a trial. The developer insists. Cut down version will be sold for $15 later. This week, PlayStation Plus subscribers reacted to the surprise that the new version of Godfall was confirmed as part of the December game offering. Godfall Challenge Edition is a version of the game which lets players try 3 endgame modes and provides a sampling of high-end loot and skill points so you can test the game at max level.
But
Many
it's not a trial.
Well, this is what that edition is. Many
I know.
subscribers suggested the inclusion of this version of Godfall was against the spirit of PlayStation Plus, which typically offers full games. Indeed, the Challenger Edition was advertised with the word of a $45 upgrade offer to pay to get the main version of the game if you like what you tried so far. Today, a spokesperson for developer Counterplay told Eurogamer that the Challenger Edition was not a trial, but just a new cut price limited edition. In a new press release, Counterplay announced that the Challenger Edition would also soon be available for free via the Epic Games Store for a limited time from December 9th to the 16th. After that, the Challenger Edition will be sold for $14.99. But it seems unlikely to appease PlayStation Plus subscribers who have said they feel this service typically offers full price releases. Yeah, well, I'm not touching that game anyway. This is one of those few ones
Not
where
even
I was
tagging.
I was gonna say this is one of those few ones I'm like, I look at it. I mean, honestly, what's gonna end up happening is Dark and Chaos will tag this shit and play it and suddenly like the shit, and then it'll be January and they go, dude, you gotta jump in on this. I'm like, oh, no, I never tagged it.
Then avoid that and just tag it and get it out.
Oh God.
You're gonna have to.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Your logic makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say.
Sir, there's not a lot of news, like you said, except a major piece of news, courtesy of your boy, Colin Moriarty. To date, actually, I should say, next Bioshock setting and time period detail in new report.
That was one
To
of my
date,
pieces. But go ahead.
well, I am taking it
Yeah,
because God, you should have started. It's Bioshock. It's your baby.
I needed to clear up last week's. Come on now.
First
Things first, sir.
Sorry, I don't have a lot to pick from. So
No, do your thing. Do your thing.
I'm sure I won't do it justice. Today, to date, the Bioshock series has taken players deep beneath the ocean, circa 1960, high into the clouds in the 1912s, not to mention a multitude of lighthouses spanning possibly all of space and time and everything in between. And now a new report has similarly revealed where the next entry of the acclaimed FPS saga will be leading us next. As spotted by VGC, journalist Colin Moriarty relayed fresh details on 2K's next Bioshock project, previously confirmed to be in development by a new studio, Cloud Chamber, as part of his latest Sacred Symbols video. Remember the Sacred Symbols book? That's a Moriarty joint.
Yeah, it is. I'm a patron.
Yeah, that's right. In the video, Moriarty cites sources claiming Cloud Chamber's take on Bioshock will unfold in a fictional Antarctic city sometime between the 1960s, which Eurogamer also understands to be true from its own sources. This, of course, would make the events approximately concurrent with those of Bioshock 1 and 2, which dealt with the downfall of Andrew Ryan's underwater dystopia of Rapture. Moriarty believes the new Bioshock City will be called Borealis, and that the game's narrative will connect to previous series entries. Moriarty adds that Cloud Chamber has given quote, incredible latitude to get the new Bioshock right. Apparently, the inclination is that they understand full well that this game will be compared to that to what original Bioshock creator Ken Levine does. End quote. And on the subject of Levine's, whose last major game release was Bioshock Infinite in 2013, Moriarty claims Takes-Two will also be publishing his next project, currently in the works at Ghost Story Games. So, yeah, new Bioshock, bro. Antarctic. That sounds interesting, actually. That sounds like it could be something pretty cool, and it's good to see that whoever the talent is behind that's in charge of doing the next Bioshock game knows that. Oh boy, you got some pretty big shoes to fill.
Yes, yes. It is. It's important to respect where the thing came from. It's one thing to be a fan and just say I want to be able to do something in that world, but it's another thing to be that fan and also go, yeah, but I have to be at this level, or at least as close as possible to it. I have to do justice to that. Yeah. So no, respect to that. I definitely I agree. The location of an Antarctic facility is it's honestly, Antarctica is where it's one of the weird locations I would love to go visit. It's on the list. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. You know what I mean? But it's definitely because there is a facility down there and a city, not a city, but like a place where people are mostly workers. Mm-hmm. So you actually, we have a friend in the group. I forgot his name, but he actually got a job and was transferred there, and he shared pictures and stuff like that. It's absolutely gorgeous, bro.
Really?
Yeah, wow. Yeah. I remember he sharing it in the group. Well, maybe not in the group, but he is of the group, and he shared it in his personal thing. And so yeah, that's a very cool location. I'm glad that that they're respecting where it came from. I'm also glad that Take-Two is also respecting Ken Levine and saying, hey, we'll help you out with the next one, because they went indie at that point because Irrational Games became much smaller. and I guess now they're called Ghost Story games because they were still called Irrational at one point. And yeah, the fact that it's going to be a sci-fi game with RPG elements, I'm kind of down with that. So
Yeah.
yeah, and Ken Levine, I think he's gone on record at some point, or maybe he's let it slip, but it wouldn't have been a first-person shooter if it was up to him,
Right.
because as per our hot topic this week, a first-person shooter moves units as opposed to, you know, other types of thing, and he really
Yeah, other
wanted to
genres.
tell the story, yeah, and
Hmm.
so he had to build it around a first-person shooter, unfortunately, but yeah.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately didn't run so well. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. Game is great as the original storytelling of the of what it was trying to end the world and all that. But as a shooter, yeah, no, it stumbled and fell, and it was not great.
Yeah, yeah. My next piece, guys. Details have emerged on an Xbox Game Pass competitor service
Well, now you stole
reportedly
mine.
planned by PlayStation. According to documents seen by Bloomberg, the new subscription service is currently codenamed Spartacus and will combine Sony's current PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now services, phasing out the branding of the latter. So no more PlayStation Now. It'll just be all PlayStation Plus. The service will, which is expected to launch next spring, will be available on both PlayStation 4 and 5 and be structured across 3 payment tiers, so it's claimed. The first would include existing PlayStation Plus benefits, such as online play and free monthly titles. The second would offer a large catalog of games similar to the Microsoft Game Pass service. The third tier would add extended demos, game streaming, and a library of classic PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and PSP games. Damn. Bloomberg states that the PlayStation didn't immediately respond for requests or comment, and they never do. The launch, if accurate, would position PlayStation against Microsoft's popular Game Pass service. The Game Pass service launched back in 2017, excuse me, and has become central to Microsoft gaming business, attracting over 18 million subscribers as of January of this year. It offers members over 100 titles, including first-party game launches. Sony has said on multiple occasions the Game Pass release model wouldn't work for PlayStation, casting doubt on its likelihood that it would adopt a similar day one subscription release model to its competitor. Now, here's what I would say. This is me talking. Just because they do this does not mean that those games become day one. First party games become day one. It may be,
Right.
hey, it would be available in 6 months or something like that. So that's still a possibility as well. And they don't need to. That's the reality. If you have a service that has games and PlayStation 1, 2, and 3, 3 sounds a little hard fetch because they just found difficult.
Well, PlayStation that's when you leverage PlayStation Now, because the streaming service will still be offered, so you can still offer those PlayStation 3 games.
PlayStation 1 and 2, dear Lord, that'd be pretty cool. Now, they haven't mentioned this, and this is all rumor anyway. But it'll be interesting seeing if there's some sort of upgrade in the sense that because Game Pass, you play the older games and stuff like that, and there's a nice visual upgrade. Nothing specific, nothing like next gen or like that, but there's a little boost behind it, and it'll be curious to see if they do. I assume they will, but again, this is all rumor and conjecture anyway, so it doesn't matter. But cool stuff. Something we all I think we all at some point said, yeah, this has got to happen at some point, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, and again, to be fair, hasn't happened. This is all rumor, but
it makes sense in a way that Sony can actually pull it off without having to resort to the day one. I also read it in actually my news piece before you stole it in revenge. That
not on purpose, but yeah.
No, I know. That there will also that if this was to come to fruition, it wouldn't adopt the Game Pass, play it day one, because it wouldn't make sense for Sony to do that. That I would tell you it'll be a little bit like they don't need to. They wouldn't need to. They have such a vast library already that not having the day one is not seen as such a big loss after all. So this is the perfect way for them to actually release it because yeah, it's they could say as I feel like it'll have parity. Like even without the day one, it will still achieve parity because it'll say, "Hey, we also have a subscription service which is all basically an all you can eat the Netflix of video games, without having to continue hearing Game Pass,
Dude, I watch football, because let's be real, in America, whatever if you want to go to the masses on a Sunday, you're advertising on football. That's where the masses are on Sunday. When they're not in church, they're watching football. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've seen plenty of Game Pass, plenty of PlayStation. They're out there competing, bro. They're out there competing. It's good to it's good to see. It's good to competition is good for us guys. For us, it's the best. So
yeah, absolutely. So we already said that it was a slow news week, so there's not a lot of news except a big one.
That's twice you said this, but
well, yours was also big, also. So I'm kind of alluding to the fact that we do have big pieces of news. This one's more interesting to. Well, actually, this one should be just as interesting to you because the U.S. Congress. Yeah, I should have left it there. U.S. Congress bill could be used to ban console scalper bots. A group of Democrats lawmakers have reintroduced a bill aimed at stopping scalpers and the bots they use from hoarding hot ticket items this holiday season and beyond. PC Mag reports, dubbed and this name of it, Stopping Grinch Bot Act. Nice. Stopping Grinch Bot Act. The bill was reintroduced on November 29 by Representative Paul Tonko, New York senator. Anyway, Senator Richard Blumenthal from Connecticut, Senate Majority Leader Charles Schumer from New York, and Senator Ben Ray Lujan from New Mexico. The quote says, at a time when families should be able to spend time with their loved ones, digital Grinch bots are forcing Americans to scour online sites in the hopes of finding an affordable gift or paying exorbitant prices for a single toy, Tonko said in a press release. These bots don't just squeeze consumers. They pose a problem for small businesses, local retailers, and other entrepreneurs trying to ensure that they have the best items in stock for their consumers, end quote. The Stopping Grinch Bot Act would, in writing, enforce these new rules. Prohibit manipulative technical practices that allow bad actors to use bots to circumvent control measures designed to protect real consumers. Point 2, make it an illegal Federal Trade Commission violation to circumvent security measures, access control systems, or other technological control measures on the site or online services. So, in other words, like finding a backdoor to be able to exploit it in some way to be able to buy your PlayStation 5. Point 3, make it illegal to sell or offer any product or service obtained by the described method. And point number 4, allow the FTC and state attorney general to treat these abusive workarounds as prohibited, unfair, or deceptive acts or practices and take legal action against these bad actors. Details on how exactly the law will be enforced weren't made clear. It's unclear if automated programs that continuously check site inventories will also count as bots, or what enforcement would look like against bot users located outside the United States. Donko and Blumenthal and Schumer originally introduced this bill back in November of 2019, but that attempt seemingly stalled in congressional committees. PCMAC reports. Since the beginning of COVID-19 pandemic in early 2020, online sales have only increased as retailers and shoppers grapple with restrictions and safety concerns posed by the in-person shopping. Combine that with ongoing supply chain issues around the globe, and the problem has made scalpers and even more persistent issues, particularly when it comes to valuable popular items like video game consoles, GPUs, and other tech products. The bill expands on a 2016 law that outlawed bots from purchasing tickets for music and sporting events and made it illegal to resell said tickets obtained by bots. And we all know how that is working wonderfully.
Yeah.
It says the Stopping Grinch Bot Act has received support from Consumer Reports, the Consumer Federation of America, and the National Consumers League. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, will be responsible for enforcing the bill should it become law. So interesting that that this kind of measures are being considered. It's, I mean, do I believe of any practical enforcement? Honestly, no. It's the same way I made a joke about, scalping sporting events. In jurisdictions, in some jurisdictions that they may be illegal, but it doesn't mean it doesn't happen still. It still happens. So
It still does, yeah. It still does.
Yeah. But it's, I mean, think of the children. No.
Okay.
Think of the children that are not receiving their PlayStation 5s this holiday because some asshole scalper got a shipment of 100 of them, and they're selling them for $1,500 each to, people that are willing to throw money like that.
Yeah.
I support this shit, even though
I support it too.
Likely a waste of time.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be very difficult to implement, but I support it for sure.
Yeah.
Sure. You know what else I support?
What?
6 state treasurers in the United States are putting pressure on Activision Blizzard by calling on the company to take meaningful action over harassment allegations, unequal pay, and discrimination.
Oh, I can get behind that.
Treasurers from California, Oregon, Delaware, Nevada, Massachusetts, and Illinois wrote a joint letter to Activision Blizzard on November 23rd, asking its board of directors for a meeting to discuss its response to, quote, the challenges and investment risk exposures that face Activision, end quote. This is from an Axios report. The treasurers also stated in the letter that they would weigh giving a support to a call made last month by shareholder group SOC, which threatened to vote against re-election of the company's director next year if CEO Bobby Kotick didn't resign. State treasurers manage their state investments, which are often invested in things like public pensions. As such, depending on how much they have invested in Activision Blizzard, their calls could have something of an impact. Quote, we are concerned with the current CEO and board of directors don't have the skill set nor the conviction to institute these sweeping changes needed to transform their culture, to restore their trust with employees and shareholders and their partners. That's by Illinois State Treasurer Michael Frakes. Massachusetts' Deborah Goldberg says this particular case has been waiting for the board to step in and do an investigation, a true investigation, an outside investigation. And I mean, what was it, 2 weeks ago that they said they stand by the CEO? Last month, a Wall Street Journal report alleged that Kotick was aware of multiple sexual misconduct allegations at Activision Blizzard and also accused him of personally mistreating several female employees. Activision Blizzard is currently facing multiple regulatory investigations over alleged sexual assaults and harassment of female employees, much of which has centered around the World of Warcraft developer Blizzard. However, the Wall Street Journal report claimed that instances of sexual assault and mistreatment have been widespread at the company, including at Call of Duty development studios Treyarch and Sledgehammer Games. Following the report, Nintendo of America boss Doug Bowser, PlayStation chief Jim Ryan, and Xbox Phil Spencer all sent separate emails to their respective staff expressing concern at Activision's response to the sexual harassment. Kotick has reportedly told senior managers he would be willing to resign if he can't quickly fix the culture problems at the company. By the way, he stands to make a shitload of money if he has to step down. So,
yeah. It's a typical story. Yeah.
exactly.
Yes.
Interesting stuff. I don't know what that will do or force anybody's hands. Obviously, when you start talking about public pensions, that can probably do something,
Mhm.
So that's interesting enough to make an impact. But yeah, I kind of did like a little not a deep dive, but just sort of a dive into some of the stuff that they were pulling out from the Wall Street Journal report, and it is absolutely crazy, bro.
Oh, dude, it's
It
abhorrent.
is Wolf of Wall Street insane.
Yes.
I mean, it is literally Wolf of Wall Street
Wow.
insane. I was like, dear Lord, I can't even believe that that's something that was happening. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah.
And recently too, which is we always said we don't know where the reports are. We don't know how far back they go. We don't know dates. You know what I mean? If it was 20 years ago, then can you say it was addressed? But it's like you start looking at stuff. It's like, no, it wasn't 20 years ago, my friend.
No, and it still wasn't addressed. So
No, not at all. Oh, by the way, the man up top was part of it. You know what
yes,
I mean? So, yeah.
exactly. No, I mean, I see. This doesn't have a happy ending, even if Kotick is out, right? Because
for sure. The problem is the
like,
board. And if the board is that crazy to back them, then they all have to be clear. They're all as guilty. You know what I mean? It's just as simple. You guys are all involved together with it, and that's an issue. Leaving one piece there, you still have that blemish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, will they go to that bar? Who knows? You know, what I mean? Who knows? But I'll tell you one thing, dude. No problem not getting anything from Activision ever again. You know what I mean?
Not even Sekiro 2? Not even
Not even
Sekiro 2.
2. Nope.
All right. So when they inevitably make the movie out of this, what actor plays Kotick? You know better than
Interesting.
I do.
Let me look at his face again and see who I see. Gary Shandling is the first thing that comes to mind, but he already passed away. Rest in peace. Yeah, Gary Shandling. That's the one that comes to mind.
That
Somebody
would
who
be-
looks like Gary Shandling. Let me see. Gary Shandling.
Shit,
Look
you're right.
alikes.
You're absolutely right.
No, I know. So,
Gary, you're done. You nailed it. That
se
if it would've
murió,
been
Benito. He's not
I
alive anymore.
know. Oh, no.
Looks totally like Hans Zimmer, but Hans Zimmer can't do it. He's not an actor. He's a freaking composer.
Oh.
Let me see. Judd Apatow. Let me see what Judd Apatow looks like. No. He doesn't like. Yeah. I don't know. Gary Shandling was the one though.
He would have been. He absolutely would have been the one.
He
Absolutely
pulled it off.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Gary Shandling.
Yeah.
More sad news, I guess. Beloved shooter Titanfall will be pulled from stores permanently. Respawn is delisting the game that defined a decade's worth of first-person shooters. Titanfall, the game which catapulted Respawn Entertainment to the status of EA Star Studio, is being pulled from digital storefronts and subscription services on March 1st, 2022. So that sucks, obviously. However, given the game's recent brush with some very bad hacking, it isn't particularly surprising either. Titanfall, at the time of its release, was an incredibly ambitious experiment. It was a multiplayer-only first-person shooter including its campaign mode, which attempted to weave story into the game's matchmaking. The game's multiplayer-only focus, in addition to its phenomenally fluid movement system and weight mech combat, made Titanfall a brilliant oddity, one that will lay the foundation for all of the Respawn's future projects. Titanfall 2, possibly the best first-person shooter release in the last decade, is according to Kotaku and to myself, my own opinion also. And I don't often see eye to eye with Kotaku. With its perfectly placed and impeccably designed campaign and stellar multiplayer, Apex Legends is set in the same universe, uses the same weapons, and has a modified version of Titanfall movement set. The game all but reignited movement shooters for a short time before they sadly returned to the shadows. For the last few years, Titanfall has been plagued with a myriad of problems, most troubling of which have been the widespread hacking throughout the game's multiplayer. Both Titanfall and Titanfall 2 were hit with multiple DDoS attacks, or denial of service attacks, which crashed the game servers, several hacks which would cause players' games to crash, and even claims that some security flaws could permanently jeopardize the health of your PC, which Respawn disproved. This security risk, in addition to Respawn's insistence that they aren't working on Titanfall 3 right now, those fucktards, but could someday, those angels, make the current state of Titanfall anything but cheery. Respawn has said that the franchise is at the core of the studio's identity, but this is all we really have to go on for the future of the series. So right now Titanfall is pretty much just Apex Legends, and that makes me sad because Titanfall 3, that Titanfall 3 is the Half-Life 3 of my generation.
Yeah.
Except Half-Life 3 is also my
It's
generation.
also your generation. Yeah. Exactly.
Yes. So I am deeply troubled and upset. And yes. Respawn.
Nice.
What are you guys doing? You guys don't like money?
I mean,
Is that what it is? I know.
Yeah.
Title. I mean, you guys don't like Goodwill? No, they don't like Goodwill.
Yeah, the Goodwill doesn't pay the bills.
Goodwill doesn't pay the bills.
That's great.
I don't know what to say, but I am deeply saddened that Titanfall, it's going away forever.
That's the first one, though. So I mean, it's
still
I'm imagining that the server load, they can see and go, oh, it's not worth it anymore.
For purposes of what do you call game preservation, I feel like they should. Well, they wouldn't give they wouldn't give the code because, I mean, that's the same code of fucking Apex Legends, so they wouldn't know that. Thank you very much. But
might as well. They're gonna steal it anyway.
yes, reverse engineering.
Someone's gonna hack it anyway. So.
But I feel like in some way, because it was still a great shooter to this day. That game was still very good. The problem is, and I delve a little bit on it, the hackers were people that were upset because Titanfall Online, Titanfall, not Titanfall 3, but a special Titanfall version for Asian countries was going to come out, and they canceled that project. And apparently the hackers were upset with that, and there was or people were upset with that. Amongst them were some hackers, and they were trying to bring attention to have Respawn. I don't know what their plans are. Like, force them to work on it. Like, what a stupid way to try to get them to work on it.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say that.
Yeah. By hacking the game, it's fucking yeah. Anyway, the major thing to get from this piece of news is that Titanfall 2 is one of the best first-person shooters of this decade.
I can't disagree at all. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Not even at all. My next piece of news, sir. Are you still with me? I feel like I may have lost you here, sir.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'm totally your next piece of news, and
my next and last piece of news is completely unrelated to the game industry, but more related to my gaming future at this point. I've just been handed, literally within 5 minutes ago, a PlayStation 5 title by the name of Tales of Arise. Yes, by a certain young man called my son Nick for my birthday, which is actually he was waiting till midnight. I guess is what it is.
Of all the something else, and Mad Dog's birthday is right this very moment.
Yeah,
that's right.
Literally waiting till midnight, and so you didn't hear anything because I literally muted it. But I had my headset on the whole time, so I was still listening. But it was like, oh, this is so cool. So yeah, a nice PS5 version of Tales of Rise. So.
Man,
so Sekiro's gonna take the backseat now because this was actually I was like, it's on my my watch list. I'm like, what? And I feel like this is my first Tales. I don't think I had played a Tales before this.
So don't worry, you're going in with the best one.
Best version.
I dig it. I'm curious to know your impressions. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with it.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, Tales of Arise, sir. That's my last piece of news. I got nothing else.
I have one more piece of news. I don't know. I was just gonna leave it to the side, but I might as well mention it since you had one. Matt's birthday is right now. At the time of this recording, it is right now is 12:08 a.m. 8 minutes ago, he was born. That's not the way it works, but we celebrate his birthday.
That's what we're gonna go with anyway.
We're gonna go with it anyway. Happy birthday, Mad Dog. Love you, bro.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate
this GG, we dedicate this GG to you. No, actually, let's dedicate a few more because this was just coming out all right. The one that we're talking about, Arcane, that's the one that we dedicate. Oh, we talked about Arcane on this one too. So
and
there we go.
The two of them, yeah.
Hey.
Man. Thank you. I appreciate that. 45 for the record. Anybody cares how old my ass is getting? 45 years old, and officially back on the Weight Watchers wagon with my wife.
Yeah, once more, huh?
Yeah. You know, you gotta keep those things going sometimes. You know, you get off, but as long as you come back, right? That's all that counts.
No, exactly. Yeah, back to the rocking horse.
Exactly.
I don't know.
All right, guys, stay tuned. That's all we have for the news. We'll be right back with our hot topic. Man, my ass is swollen real high.
Wow.
We're back, guys. And it is now time for our hot topic of the week.
Hot topic! Jesus, and I thought I had it bad with singing Fred Durst, but you...
So my version of that, I don't know the real song, and I don't even know the name of it. It's "Rollin', Rollin', Rollin', Keep them doggies rolling." My version of it is from City Slickers, sung by Billy Crystal.
Oh, Billy Crystal! Yes. Oh, wow.
And so that's my version of it, and he's I guess he's used to the whole herding the cattle at that point, and he's singing it to just pass the time. And obviously his ass is swollen from being on that fucking saddle the whole time. And then he just yells, "Ride!"
Right.
That's such a good movie. Such a good movie. City Slickers is excellent. Man.
Really old movie.
This is the type of comedy that I can deal with. You know what I'm saying? There's something about you know what? We need a hot topic just about that. What is wrong with comedies today? You know what I mean?
You
They're
know what?
just,
No, not a bad idea. Yes.
I mean, it may be the deal because like I can watch City Slickers. I can
Mm.
go back and watch Ghostbusters. I can go back to Stripes. I can watch, Caddyshack. All these, and some of them are goofball movies. Let's be real.
Mhm.
They're not all, intelligent comedies. I mean, they're intelligent, but not, not your normal comedy. They're just goofball comedies. You know what I'm saying? And I can still
Yeah.
sit back and enjoy these things and laugh, whatever. But today's comedies, man, they haven't come. I can't. I can't even. I don't find it funny.
Yeah.
To be fair, I do find certain moments humor because they're always going to catch you. There's just no. I mean, if I sit in a comedy and I don't laugh at any point, that movie is just absolute garbage. You know what I mean?
I probably recommended you that movie then at that point.
Yeah. So it's I definitely appreciate certain things from them, but yeah, man, it just, I feel for the most part they're just not, they're not my alley. You know what I mean? And I can go back and watch those other ones and just laugh like it's the first fucking time watching it. You know what I mean? And it's just that
Not
good.
to say that the old movies didn't have their, their overrated, like the classics that I believe are ridiculously overrated. Revenge of the Nerds. Like,
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
think those movies were funny. I mean, they were stupid. Yeah. If I was feeling in the mood for a stupid movie, well, shit, I probably would have watched like Naked Gun or something like that. Those movies were stupid, but they were funny
Oh,
to
they were so
me.
good. Yeah, yeah. See, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those were your lampoons, your lampoon type of films.
Love the Lampoons.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, so great. Loaded Weapon 1. Did you ever see that one? Loaded
Oh,
Weapon 1.
that's
Oh, so good.
that's one of my favorite Lampoon movies by a long shot. That National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Oh my god!
It's stupid. It's whatever, but it knows what it is. That's the difference, right? A
Yeah.
lampoon knows what it is. It's not trying to be serious. It's just like we know
No.
what we're doing, and we're gonna break the fourth wall, as mentioned. And that's what the whole thing is. It breaks the fourth wall,
Yes.
and that's what makes those things great. But yeah, man, today's comedies they just don't do it, bro. They
We
just
don't
don't
get
do it. We should
Lampoons
really.
anymore.
I don't know. I don't know what the last Lampoon movie was.
I remember it was I want to say it was, I think, National Lampoon's Christmas Story or something like that, and it was meant to be a spiritual sequel to the National what's it called?
National
Chevy Chase,
Lampoon. This
Uh-huh.
is how this is. Oh God, there's a lot, bro.
There's a
Let me
lot.
tell you, National Lampoon. This is 2015. National Lampoon, Drunk, Stone, Brilliant, Dead.
What the hell is that?
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
the one that I was talking about it's called National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And to be fair, I went in expecting like nothing, and it ended up being a lot funnier
Christmas
than I
Vacation,
anticipated.
Absolutely, Christmas Vacation is
I like
great.
it. You saw that?
Oh yeah, dude, I've seen it
Yeah.
a million times. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that
yeah.
was absolutely good. Which Chris, I mean, hold on. Christmas Vacation is the classic one. I'm messing it up.
1989. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's an idea. No, that was great, of course. No, but I'm talking about one that was meant to be. I want to say, I wanted to say that it wanted to be a sequel to it almost, but it was not Christmas Vacation 2. Because that shit,
Oh,
it was not that. It was recent. I want to say it was probably 2015 or something like that. I could be
So let me see.
wrong.
We got National Lampoon. Let me see. This is TV, maybe
Yeah,
video release.
TV.
It wasn't a video release, was it?
No.
Okay,
I mean, it was.
So that's the
think-
most recent one. We have National Lampoon's presents Surf Party, National Lampoon Snatch, The Legend of
Christmas something.
Awesomeness Maximus. Oh God, Frat Chance, National Lampoon's Dirty Movie. This is 2010 now we're at. Cheerleaders
Dirty
Must
movie.
Die,
Wow.
also in 2010. National Lampoon's presents
No, it
Endless
was
Bummer.
2015. It was probably like it was later. It was later.
Oh, we're going backwards. That's the most
Oh
late
shit!
National
Then
Lampoon. In the most latest is that Drunk Stone Brilliant Dead thing I mentioned.
no, no, I don't know
Yeah.
what that is. Anyway, I'll find it probably. I'll send it to you. That was the last one that I saw that I was like, okay, this was actually entertaining, and it was meant to be like a sequel to Christmas Vacation, but obviously a lot newer and different people, which is the thing that got me like, I don't know about this, but then
I
I
don't
was
know who
like,
these folks are.
okay, it's definitely not the classic, but it made me laugh, so
Okay, fair enough.
I
fair
will
enough.
watch again.
One to definitely watch if you have not, and I'm just throwing this out here, is National Lampoon's Van Wilder, the movie that brought us Ryan Reynolds. Yeah,
Oh,
National Lampoon's
Ryan
Van
Reynolds.
Wilder.
Yes, that it's a national icon.
I agree. I concur,
Yeah.
sir. I concur.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, none of this has anything to do with the damn hot topic. I don't even know why we're talking about it, but it's still pretty fascinating. And I'm glad you guys stuck along to hear about it. So no, of course our hot topic is, are AAA games toxic for the industry? And Mr. Santos, I'm gonna. Well, I don't chuck it over to you. Kind of say where you want to start off with this, and I actually was able to locate some interesting information. Really, more of just a list of why it's not good. But I'll go ahead and let you start. You can kind of go from there.
Yes. So this is my concern. We get a lot more different type of genres that the one that we immediately think of when we think of video games. I feel like even on our whenever we post stuff on the group, the things that seem to catch some traction or interest is the typical like big ticket items or what we think is gonna be a big ticket items. I mean, and I'm guilty of it also. I'm not throwing blame or anything like that, because until very recently I was like super excited from what I saw of the very well prepared trailer for Battlefield 2042 as a Battlefield fan, and we seem to forget that there are other interesting games that have come out, games that even I have said, "Ooh, I definitely want to, play this," but when the time comes in, I don't, and I don't feel the impulse to do so, even though I am fully realizing that, hey, no, this is a fantastic title. Latest example that comes to mind will be something like Life is Strange True Colors.
Okay.
It's a game that if we post something on the group about it, crickets will sound. There will be no reaction to it, because it's not Halo, it's not Battlefield, it's not Destiny. It's not those type of titles that tend to grab everybody, tend to grab the headlines, and even though it is because this one's reviewed very well, but I'm going to throw it back to even the original Life is Strange. How many times have we said, man, the moment and the adventure you will have there, or the experience that you have with that game, it's like single to none. It's a phenomenal title. You guys should try it. No one within our group will actually jump on it. Even try it. And I find that a little odd, because are we not looking forward for new experiences, or are we equalizing games with just being power fantasies, of great big warrior soldier or whatever, doing this crazy stunts. Is as those is that what gaming is that all that gaming could be, right? You don't hear a lot of people playing Yakuza Like a Dragon. For example, you don't hear a lot of people talking about this recent title that came out that apparently is seems to be decent. That Chorus game that I was telling you before we started recording.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's an indie action adventure shooter game, and it looks neat. But because it's a flying it's a flying shooter game.
Yeah,
it's not
space.
It's a space shooter. Yeah. It's not in the forefront of anybody. Now is my question. My question is, or what I wonder is there a chance that our gaming industry will just become just the AAA titles, the mainstream first person shooters, RPGs, and third person open worlds?
I mean, the way Ubisoft is going, at least with the major publishers, because everything they're doing, Assassin's Creed, is going to become a service game, open world service game. Who knows? The next Far Cry may actually be that way as well. This Far Cry 6 may be the last normal Far Cry that. So as many, it's a shame because people are going to probably look back at Far Cry 6 going, you know what? It was the last one of its original, formula. You know what I mean? And from there, they just went
probably for the best on when it comes to Far Cry, because that game needs to change.
Sure, but does it need that change? Does it suddenly need to be a massive open world type of thing where online and everything? World. Well, that's what I meant. Online,
not online, yeah.
And so I feel like that's where at least with the major. I mean, let's count it out. I mean, that's where Ubisoft is already there, right? Mm-hmm. We don't have to say that they're going. They're already there. That was the next one. EA has been dying to get people to get into their world and stay in the worlds forever. Yes. And so, which is one of the reasons why, what is that battle royale game that they I can't think of the name now, but
from what company?
From EA. It's oh my god.
Oh, Apex Legends?
Apex, thank you. Apex Legends. Yeah. So it's why Apex Legend is like one of their biggest things, and that almost sounded like an experiment, and that happened to work. You know what I mean for them. So EA is kind of already there. I think this 2047, right? Is that the year? Whatever Battlefield this is. Yeah. I feel like that Battlefield was meant to be the Battlefield version of, hey, this is an open world, crazy, shoot everything, whatever. Come here and join in, and we'll hold on to you for the next 5 years. I think that was their intent there. They just weren't ready to release. What else? I mean, fuck. What is it? Activision and Call of Duty. Yes. Hell, their newest Call of Duty, apparently the numbers are doing significantly nowhere near as well. Not that it's doing bad, but because they usually do extremely well. But nowhere near as well because they still have the other one. You know what I mean? It's like it's not the other one. So even that doesn't even probably affect them as well. So I feel like all of them are just kind of heading that way to have these open worlds, and now to introduce the live service into them. You know what I mean? And so my answer to your question is that where we're heading to just have these first person shooters or open world games or RPGs. Yeah, because they're all become services. You know what I mean?
So does that? I mean, it does. And this is honest question. I'm not trying to.
Yeah,
Obviously,
I got you.
I'm not a
Got you.
person. I'm not a person to fucking judge. All right. So it's just it makes me wonder. So are this are these people uh me included also
Mhm.
because I've fallen prey to the same thing. If anything, the person that I've seen the least affected by this is you, Mad Dog, because you don't care for particular you know genre unless it's a definitely genre that you know that nope, this is not for me. Like fly sims, I know that's not for you. Space sims, it's not for you. Sports game, it's not for you. But you're still open to playing something like 13 Sentinels,
Yeah.
Persona 5, even when you didn't have any previous interaction with Persona games, you were completely open to playing that. You are the god of indies.
I don't know about that, but
Indies are your realm.
they are where I tend to stick. Yes, and
Yeah, yeah,
and real quick, just say the reason why I tend to stick is because that's where the innovation is.
yeah.
That's
That's where
where the new
experiments
stuff
happen.
is. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So that's
yeah.
why I tend to be there.
So I feel like they make it more like of a definition of I don't know. I'm going to be throwing terms here, but only for the sake of this discussion. I don't want them to become labeled because it's stupid. There's no such thing as a full gamer or half gamer or anything like that. I'm not saying that,
Mhm.
but does it make you a more well-rounded, gamer to have all these experiences versus someone that will just be playing one type of genre and they're not willing to experiment with anything else?
No, I don't think. Yeah. Well, go ahead. You
No, no,
finish
no.
your
That,
question.
that was it.
Oh,
No, no. That
yeah.
was.
I don't think one suddenly excludes you from being from the other. I think that I think that the industry has both. You can be like, for instance, can you can you actually look at what's his name, Justin Long, or I can't remember his name, from the dude who plays nothing but Street Fighter and all that. Can you really look and tell him that he's
Mhm.
not a gamer because all he plays is Street Fighter or
Oh,
all he
that'd be
plays is
stupid.
fighting
Yeah.
games? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, that's asinine. That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And to say that would be, I mean, first off, that person would be tarred and feathered and thrown out. You know what I mean? Because, like, are you kidding me? This dude is like, Mr. Street Fighter. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
So
it's really fucking good at playing this particular
correct.
game.
He decided his thing is, I love this so much that I'm going to master this
Mm,
as much as possible, and there's nothing wrong with that. It still makes you a gamer just as much as uh somebody like myself, who I'm consistently looking for a new experience. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I will easily drop when I'm playing to play something a new experience,
Mm,
rather than what I was playing, which could be the most latest AAA title, if you will. You know what I mean?
right.
And so, which is why I struggle sometimes to do that, because I try to finish what I'm playing before I move on to it. But it becomes that thing where it's like I my attention now is being grabbed by, because there's this new thing and it's unique in some way, and
Mm,
that becomes my thing. But that doesn't make me less of a gamer because I tend to float into different stuff. It's not how many games you play. You know what I mean? It's just the
right.
fact that you play. And that's what comes
Right.
down to it. If you are part of the playing, if you play and you know that you play, then that in essence makes you a gamer.
Yeah.
So there's no or what is it, the hardcore is, no, no, none of that. Hardcore may be the one who decides to make that their livelihood. That would consider hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
Your Overwatch, right? Players who are trying out to be part of the league. It's like, now you are
They
definitely,
make a living out of.
yeah, you're definitely hardcore,
Yeah.
because now that has become your main focus in your life. But that doesn't that just because if I don't do that doesn't make me not a gamer. No, fuck all that. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean
Right.
anything.
Right.
So
Yeah. It's
so
hard.
no,
it was
Yeah.
hard to it was hard to portray that that sentiment into a question, because I guess the point that I'm trying to wonder is I want to understand what makes a person resist trying other types of games in general. I'm talking about the persons that, let's say, for example, will be staunch Call of Duty players, and they are really good at it. Maybe they're not making a living out of it. They just, that's the thing that they enjoy. And
Well, there's
then
many
you
reasons
present
for
them.
it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, you present them with another, I don't know, Neo. You show them, hey man, this is definitely within, it's a different type of game. Although another power fantasy, I guess. So maybe not a very good example, but I don't know. The first one that occurred to me, and they'll be resistant. They'll be like, no man, that's
It's not my
I
kind of
don't.
game.
That's,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll play that. I'm like,
I mean, the reality, I guess, so to sort of answer that question is we're all creatures of habit. You know what I mean? Gamers and non-gamers. You know, we're just creatures of
Mhm.
habit, and we will consistently and even subconsciously sort of gravitate to things that we're used to playing,
Familiar,
or
yeah.
used to, the familiar. Um, and in many ways, one can say if you are good, you don't have to be great, but if you're good at
Mhm.
one particular first person shooter, then chances are you can easily pick up and play, first person shooter B or C or D, all the way down the line, particularly nowadays because there has become a standard of how the controller is set up, for instance. So you're all
Mhm.
probably going to be controlling almost the same way, right? The right triggers, your shoot button. You know what I mean?
Yep.
A
You
circle
all can
is
thank Halo for that.
the but the reality is, they all kind of fell in line. So
Mhm.
while everything within the story or whatever's going on in the actual game may be different, the controls are the same. So it becomes easier to just gravitate and go into it. And same thing could be with the open world games. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you've played every Assassin's Creed but never touched any other Ubisoft game, if I suddenly
Mhm.
handed you another Ubisoft game, you can probably just pick it up and go, oh yeah, this is, because it's just another open world.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I get it. I get what I'm looking for. I know where artifacts are. I know, the menus I kind of understand it. I don't need
Mhm.
I don't need an instruction manual tutorial to kind of figure it out. I get it. I see ways to be done. And
Yeah.
so I think the familiarity of it is what makes it and then what they've done is what makes it so that people just kind of gravitate to those genres. And what they've done, game companies, is going, hey, and kind of going back to I don't know if we were on the air at this point talking about this, but we were, because we were talking about the news. Kind of going back to the Kevin Levine situation with the original BioShock, when he did not want to make it a first-person shooter, but Take Two and the publishers, and was like, yeah, if you want to do this, we need to make this for mass audience. And part of its success is
Mhm.
probably the fact that it was a first person shooter. Could it have been critically acclaimed had it just been whatever type of game he was trying to make? Sure. But would it have been a commercial success? No, probably not. You know what I mean? And so that's the reality. It's like we can do this. We can make it so that it fits within a type of game that people are into, and then it will sell. And so that's what's made it to the point where first person shooters are a dime a dozen at this point, and you can pick up any one of them and just run and gun quickly. You can figure it out real quick.
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and so. And why not? That's why, that's the genre everybody wants. And people, believe it or not, there's some people who play some shitty ass first person shooter games just because it's a first person shooter and they really have anything else to play. And
Mhm.
that whoever created that is banking on that. So they literally made this game because they're like, we can't make a Call of Duty. I mean, we're just developer, 2.0, whatever fuck they call themselves. This is
Mhm.
just a developer. But hey, we can do something, and we can enter it in that lull within the year where no one's actually playing because Call of Duty is in the fall, and
Yeah.
it's April 1st. You know what I mean? And hey, April Fools, hey, it comes a first person shooter, and suddenly they make some sales. So that's really what it comes down to. Why they don't gravitate to other things is because it's not familiar. And I think with many folks within gaming, it's not always about the narrative. I still feel that
Mm.
while there's a large portion of us that do appreciate a narrative, I think there's still a larger portion that it's about the gameplay, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's about the gameplay. But, you know, if it's just about the gameplay, then what else do you need to do but just replicate the gameplay? You know what I mean? And that's what they're doing.
But does it have to be the same gameplay? There's a lot of other games
Evidently,
titles that they don't have to. They don't have to be uh the same.
no,
They
it
don't have to
doesn't
be the same
have to be.
formula,
But
right?
when you're banking on it, you know what I mean? I guess depends where it's coming from. If it's a
Yeah.
company of 300 individuals, yeah, they kind of needed to go big. If
Yeah.
it's a indie studio, then no, maybe 100,000 units works for them. You know what I mean? So that's what it comes down to. It comes down to money. You know what I mean? So does it have to
Yeah.
be that same? Like, no, it doesn't. And but the reality is, and it's proven more and more because again, people are used to certain type of games. It's proven
Hmm.
more and more that if it's not one of these, it's not going to sell the big ones. And so and now because little by little, we have less and less big companies, right? Because they're all kind of being devoured by other big companies,
Hmm.
and so you have less and less of them.
Less
Yeah,
studios for it.
we're gonna, yeah, exactly. We're gonna have more and more of this, you know, complacent, type of,
It's the
yeah, about the games that
amalgamation
are just
of
coming out. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. We're gonna
It's
have your Grand Theft Auto type of games,
hmm
because let's be real, these open world games that we have now, they all kind of modeling off that early Grand Theft Auto
right.
3, right? Because that was like one of the first
Yeah, the
really
big
open
map,
world,
the
yeah, the big
bunch
maps
of
and all that. Yeah,
icons.
maybe they're not, Grand Theft Auto in the sense you can steal a car or whatever. Maybe they're in the West, or maybe they're in, ancient China, or
Hmm.
fucking Vikings, whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter. The point is that particular type of world that started with Grand Theft Auto.
Hmm.
It's so now it's that big thing where now we're just making a big world, and then first person shooter, same thing. Now we're just making it as gritty as possible, realistic as possible, and whatever the case may be. So, and that again, when you have fewer and fewer companies to out there,
Mm.
then yeah, it's all about, at some point I feel like Activision just may be the place you go to for first person shooters. Ubisoft is just going to be the place you go to for open world games. Square is going to be the place you go to for
For
RPGs. So
RPGs,
it's like,
yes.
yeah, it's like suddenly they no longer have genres. They just stick with the one that's been working for them the best, and that's it. They just don't churn those out all the time.
I was just gonna make a comment on that because I feel like uh which is my big concern, the fact that we might be inadvertently sending the message to these companies that these are the only type of games that matter. These are the only type of games that can make money, and that's not to say that we might not have an indie darling pop here or
Mhm.
there, um, but the attention is not going to be it's
The
not going
attention
to
is
be
short
there.
lived. Yeah.
Yeah, the attention is very very short lived. Uh, you're not gonna hear about people getting excited for a Way Out or a Plague Tale. That's another excellent title. They don't necessarily need to be power fantasies. Uh, they just have to have like very intricate gameplay that is different. Something that we're constantly advocating, right? That we want innovation on our games. We're tired of playing the same old things, but we're still buying the same old thing. And again, I'm including myself because I mean To be honest
Yeah,
with you,
well, we
look at
can
the option.
partake, right? I mean, it's nothing wrong with partaking of the of what the masses enjoy as well. We still
The
enjoy those
masses.
type of games. Well,
I
I'm
know,
not
I
trying to
know.
belittle or anything, but I'm just
It just
saying,
sounded funny.
but it's the truth, right?
But they have
The
cake.
Call of Duties is like, yeah, you were buying Call of Duties for quite some time, because you like the
Mhm.
campaign, and maybe you attach a little bit of the multiplayer, but that doesn't suddenly mean you're turning your back on innovation. It's like, no, you're still a gamer and you enjoy first person shooters. It's still a good game, still a good type of game. Um,
A
but does that
gameplay that
mean?
I'm super excited right now is Halo.
Yeah, perfect example. Which, yes,
Another
that's
shooter.
mainstream. I mean,
Yes.
it's locked behind a particular ecosystem, but it's still very mainstream. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it will sell buttloads. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what that console has been, or Microsoft, not just that console, but Microsoft have been needing for quite some time, and it's going to work excellent for them. But just because you suddenly you get into that I need to, I can't wait to do this. That doesn't mean you're suddenly turning your back on innovation. You know what I mean? It's like, no, you're not. You can still partake of it.
They kind
I'm
of.
sorry, but I feel like we do need to partake. Like, for instance, right now, sure, I own Sekiro. I already own it. There's nothing to do about it. You know what I mean? But not gonna buy anything Activision anymore, and not just because of the fact that obviously the extremely toxic culture, but at the same time, like, I don't believe in what you guys are doing. You guys are literally just mass producing stuff, annual releases
Mhm.
of stuff. Which is why I don't care for any of the sports games. Like it's the
Mhm.
same shit all the time. I could literally buy the one from 3 years ago and still I actually have NBA Live 2016. I own that.
Yeah, you own
You know
it.
what I'm saying?
Wow.
It's like, and I still have it, and I guarantee you that shit plays great. I guarantee you that shit plays great. And sure, it doesn't have maybe two
You.
or three options that the newest one had, but who gives a shit? Still a good
Yeah.
game. You know what I mean? But that doesn't matter to EA. EA is like, we need to sell you the new roster. And that new roster is going to cost you $60 now. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
I feel like in the case of Microsoft in particular they have I mean they have hurt in the sense of their shooters uh it's what's almost taken away from the I mean for every Halo or Gears of War that they have, we no longer get a Viva Pinata, for example. An excellent game. All jokes aside, um, it was a it was a very entertaining, very different type of experience to enjoy. Not necessarily not a game that I would say, oh, this is for kids. Sure, kids could play it, but it was not an experience that I would call a game for kids only,
Mhm.
Um and those type of like whimsical titles we unfortunately don't tend to see anymore. And on Sony's camp, it'll be like it's great that we're getting Sony used to be very good with the experiments,
Mhm.
and I feel like this generation they have taken a little bit of a step back on experiments, and it has been their best their best year yet, their best generation yet. But you don't get the type of experimental titles that you used to get with the PlayStation 3 era.
PlayStation
Um,
3 era has one of my favorite uh games that um I'm trying the sad part is I'm trying to think of it now and I
which
can't
one?
even
The
think
one
of
with
the names.
zombies? What's the premise?
It was this character who was it was a platformer. And he was basically going through like oh my god, what was the name? It was like the puppeteer.
Plus?
The puppeteer, that
Oh,
was
the
the name, the
Puppeteer.
puppeteer.
Oh my god.
The puppeteer was excellent. Excellent, criminally underplayed. And because of
Yes.
it, you never heard it from me again. But that title is excellent.
Yes.
And honestly, the reality is to I'm actually a little depressed because it didn't get any further. Seriously, because it's also locked on PlayStation 3. So it's like you can't even get a hard copy because unless they move it to PlayStation 4. But why
Mhm.
would they do that? It barely sold. You know what I'm saying? It's not that big of a title. So the only way I myself will ever be able to play either to dig up a PlayStation 3 and that copy, or PlayStation Now.
Oh, PlayStation.
You know, and it's just like that's so fucking sad. You know what I mean? It's like
Yes.
that is ridiculous. But no, I agree. I agree with you that we are going to get fewer of those from the majors. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
feel that's the reality. We're going to get fewer of those from the majors, but they're still going to exist. And I think nowadays we have a slew of new experiences and games that try something new, innovate. I love the dude from Fuck the Oscars. I can't think of his name now, but he did Tale of Two Brothers. He
A
did
Way Out.
A Way Out. He did the most recent one. I can't think of his name
It
now, but
Takes Two.
It Takes Two. Thank you. And he is consistently trying to say, no, we're going to try to change this up. A Way Out is a two-player game only, meaning if you have no one else, you can't play. You know what I'm saying? It won't let you play with just one person. So what does he do? He goes, no, we'll do a friend pass. So only one of
Mhm.
you have to actually own the game, and the other one can just play along. Only with that friend with that pass,
Mhm.
and you can play it. By the way, I own this game, and I still say we're going to play this at some point. So,
Oh, yeah.
but I'm saying it's like how awesome is that? Any other major company would have said, no, fuck that. You need to buy the game too. We pay, you pay 30, you pay 30. Why are we going to give free whatever? But he's looking at us like, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. This is what I'm trying to. And same thing, I believe the same thing applies with It Takes Two. Um, but I think it's more local. So that may be the case. But
Yeah.
either way, the point is, you have these smaller companies taking chances and doing this on their own. And
Yeah.
as long as they put their heart into it, yeah, man, I'm gonna be there to support. That's why I love pointing out these rare gems to you and to Chaos and I try to Dark, but Dark is just resistant. He just just completely resistant to. He's the typical of what you just mentioned a moment ago.
Listen, he is not only set in his ways, but he is very good at what he does, at the games that he plays, very
That is
specific.
true. That
And
is
to
true.
be fair, they're also quite varied. It just
He
not
does, yeah,
within our variety, but it's
yeah,
still he does play different
yeah.
genres and whatnot.
But when I try to talk to him about when he's like, "Oh hell no, I can't," this. But I have won Chaos over a little bit. He ended up playing Battle Chasers, which is a smaller title
Battle
and an excellent
Chaser.
title. I got him to play Dead Cells. He was playing Dead Cells for a hot minute. I don't know if he ever jumped into Hades, but I told him if you like Dead Cells, you should get into Hades as well. But that's the whole deal. I think the onus is on us who want that innovation to sort of champion that and bring that to those folks. And sure, we're going to mention 10 titles and 9 of them that go, no, I'm good. But maybe that one will do it, and maybe that will plant the seed to say, hey, when you're not in the middle of playing your massive open world, RPG, whatever,
Mhm.
and you're bored with it because they don't have a new update or a new season or whatever the case may be, maybe take a break and try this one out. You know what I mean? And maybe they will, and maybe they will back away from it. Who knows? Not that I want them to back away. They don't need to back away. That's, the game is still a good game. It's a good game. It is what it is.
Of course.
But at least, they take the opportunity to experience something new, and that becomes uh they themselves become a voice for that, whoever that developer is, and or that type of game. That's really, I think, what it comes down to, because we can't rely on these big companies to do it. It's going to have to be us, and that's
No.
what I've been trying to do. That's why I live in the indie market. So I literally live there.
You are the
I,
indie broker. So we know that.
you know that's why I lived there, because it's all the original stuff tends to come from there. So yeah, and believe it or
Oh,
not, I mean, say what you want, that market is changing the main market, right? The reason we have a roguelike from first party published by Sony. Dear Lord, what is wrong with me? It must be late because I forgot the damn name.
Returnal.
Returnal. Thank you, dear Lord. The reason why we
Another
had that
shooter.
it is a shooter, but it's still a roguelike, right? It's still framed with
Right, right,
the
right.
type of game, and those type of games, roguelikes, were indie games only, right? They just never existed out or whatever. Now you have Hades. Hades broke the mold, said, "Yeah, we can do this, and we can make it big, and everybody enjoy it." And then suddenly you got others coming into it. So the indie market, as many may feel like it's not it's innovating, but it's not really pushing the bar. It is pushing the bar. It's just doing it at a slower pace, and again, the onus is on us to champion those.
Yeah, I feel like for every E3 that we see, we tend to see this when, especially when they do the sizzle reels and they start showing the different games coming out for a console almost back to back. You see a lot of games that look wacky and crazy, and you're like, oh yeah, I need to know more about them. But then they disappear. They never come out.
That is true.
And it's disappointing. I want us to go back to when we had games like Journey, or what was that crazy? You remember The Last Guy?
The Last Guy, yes.
Yes,
It was like on
you were playing on a Google map.
Maps. Yeah,
on
yeah,
a,
yeah.
on a Google map, basically. That's where the graphics, and you were you character rescuing humans from zombies on a top view. You say, "Oh, zombies again," but no. But this was really. I mean, this was prior 2010, if I had to guess, and this was a top view. I mean, it was very original when it came out.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember playing Tokyo Jungle. Remember that?
Tokyo Jungle, the
when
one with
you
the
were playing
doggy.
with the dogs, the stray dogs
Yes.
in a post-apocalyptic Tokyo. The dogs are the only that survived, and then suddenly you have to gather together, and then this is just random. And this
Yes.
is Sony at its most wackiness at this point too.
Right.
But yeah,
Which I would love to see, Heavy Rain. That's
Rain, yeah.
another quirky, one of those from David Cage, and those titles had a place. Whereas right now you don't, almost like, if you see them, it's almost like mentioned on a quick, like I said, like I call them a sizzle reel, where they just put it real quick and that's it. Like, there's no excitement for that type of game anymore. And I feel it's because a lot of us are just, we just want to know, okay, we know that last Mass Effect was fucking catastrophic, but we can't wait to hear about the next one for some unknown reason, and same thing with Battlefield. It's like, we know that every Battlefield that comes out it comes out broken, but man, do we get excited to hear about it. It's like, and I wonder
we all
if
get caught up with the hype. I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's the hype, right? And there's no stopping the hype train when everybody's infected by it. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So I agree. But I think with every title, not just big titles and little titles, but you gotta wait, you gotta hold off and not fall for that, like I did with Cyberpunk 2077. I did not have that game pre-ordered, and it was
the last
and
day,
I'm
right?
not blaming him in any way, but Chaos was like, he was messaging me. He's like, dude, 5 hours too, and I was just like, fuck, I'm gonna I'm gonna be not involved with this at all. I gotta do it. I gotta do
Listen,
it.
Chaos,
And that
don't feel bad.
thing-
I got him to play. I got him to buy Destiny. Actually, I bought Destiny, and then I told him, pay me, which was considerably worse. So you're okay. You're okay,
no,
buddy.
again, I don't blame anybody for it. These are we're grown folks, right? These are grown folks' decisions. So I made the decision. It is what it is. I will, and it's still there. And but
It's still there.
you wait. That's the whole point. Is you wait. You can pre-order, but don't. At the end, if you feel that it's not going to live up to expectation, then back away from it when you can. But you shouldn't pre-order. Just don't, because most of the time, especially now with big companies, you end up burned on these things. But
and go digital. You know what? Just save the environment. Save the environment. Your games are not complete anyway. So
yeah,
your physical version is worth nothing. It's a trophy that if you want to put it on a book, you're taking space and just becoming plastics and more waste.
You're gonna you're gonna need the update anyway. So
you need the day one patch. Otherwise, what do you have?
Exactly.
You're not gonna play that.
Oh man. All right, sir. Any final thoughts on the hot topic there, or shall we go ahead and close that bad boy out?
I think. I mean, I think you put it best when you said it falls us to us, and I don't mean like you and I. I mean like all the listeners.
The ones who
were the ones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're not also not trying to. We're not trying to belittle anybody that just like its own genre. I mean, shit. I know why I don't play sports games. I'm not a sports guy, and I won't. And if all you like is first-person shooters, then that's good. That's good enough. We're glad to have you play and all that. You have no obligation towards this industry to play something else. We're not saying that. We're just extending an open invitation for those that will be willing to try something else, something new. We realize, obviously, you don't want to spend money on something that you're not sure about. Maybe take advantage of the constant barrage of free games that we're getting from things like PSN, the Epic Store, Xbox Live with Gold, stuff like that.
This is why I feel like tagging everything is fine. You know what I mean? It's like it's yes, it becomes part of your actual library, sure, as long as you have the service, sure. But you haven't downloaded anything; it doesn't become part of your trophy list.
Not taking space.
It's not doing anything. It's just, hey, at any point, should I want to, or at any point somebody suggests that I can't, I already have it there. Hey, guess what? I already have it there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like those services are perfect for that. Just tag them. Just tag them all. You don't have to do anything. Just tag them. Suddenly they're part of your library. If at some point I come tap you on the shoulder, hey man, have you tried Mortal Shell? That's a great game. It's better than I thought. It looks like they fixed the issue that they had with this, and it's amazing. And they're like, oh, I don't know. Well, yeah, but you like Dark Souls. You like Souls, and you got to be into that. Give it a shot. I mean, hey, it was on PlayStation Plus, and oh yeah, I guess I did tag it. You know what I'm saying? It's like now you already have your foot in. And now this developer has a way of maybe capturing you on and I don't mean capturing in a bad way, but at least capturing your attention on something that the next project they work on, because this one turned out to be a successful one for them. So that's why I say tag everything. Who gives a shit? Tag it all. You know what I mean? You're getting them for free. Why would you not just tag them anyway? So
unless it's a title that 100% that you're just not gonna, like, you're not gonna tag a sport title, for example.
Sure, that's why I have NBA 2016, because I tagged it.
Oh, that's right, because you tagged. Okay, there you go. Never mind.
That's why it's there. I tag everything. Although Godfall, believe it or not, maybe the first one I go, you know what? I'm all right.
Maybe I don't need everything.
Yeah, maybe I'm okay for that one. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much, as always, for tuning in to the awesome Rio episode 291. As always, guys, if you haven't already, please go to goodgame.rocks, join the conversation there, and please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. This is Mad Dog signing off this week. Mr. David Santos, take us home.
I just want to wish everybody that is listening, and wherever my voice could carry, all of y'all a very wonderful, happy, awesome, Festivus of Mad Dog. Happy Festivus of Mad Dog, everybody. Today is the day that Mad Dog was born at 12 a.m. exactly. That's why he is so obsessed with time. He is on the dot. On the dot. He was gonna be calendar man, but that villain was already taken. So yes, and I heard if you have to work today, you get paid triple because you shouldn't be working a Mad Dog holiday. That's how it works. So tell your boss.
Triple. Oh wow,
Yes.
wow!
It's a federal law that we just made up.
Yes, that Biden has not exactly signed yet, but we're working on them. We're working on them.
We're working exactly.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we'll see you next week.
GG! Happy birthday, Mad Dog!
Thank you, sir.